And hello, I'm back. Got Hero U reloading over there. There we are. Hope you all had a good time with Lori. I'm going to try doing the rest of it without recording. So you can see anything you want now. Nobody will know unless somebody else is recording. There's all sorts of secrets I could be learning by reading that chat. Let's look at our game credits. I love this music. This is the composer called me up or contacted me and said that he was working with a live orchestra on one of his TV projects and asked if we wanted to have a live orchestral version of the theme song. And it was a reasonable price. And I said, oh, that sounds really cool. So we got that just for here. There's another video up on YouTube of the showing the orchestras, the Budapest Scoring Orchestra. There is credit for it, doing the performance of this. And kind of fun to have that thing in a game, way beyond our budget, but yeah, some things are just too fun to not have. And this matters. The game was made possible by all the wonderful fans and backers who supported it through Kickstarter and other donations. They're some of our major supporters. I think I offered producer credit to some of them, but several of them basically said, hey, you can't call me producer when I didn't actually work on the game. So they didn't want to have a symbolic title that didn't mean anything. Yeah, Ryan's music is just amazing. It's funny because, you get different people look at and listen to this game, and some are like, oh, the music all sounds the same and so on. It's like, what kind of music do you listen to? And other people, say, well, the art looks kind of primitive, and no, the art is amazing. And when I've tried to pin people down on this and saying, well, what do you like? They give me, games that they think are amazing, indie art games, and it's just like, they look terrible. So let's practice with the darts here. So I'm never so busy I can't take a few moments for a little practice. That's sort of like Corey when he's supposed to be working, but not necessarily with the dartboard. I did used to play a little bit of darts in college. Thereafter for a few years. Stay on target, stay on target. That's a Star Wars reference. I think I'm getting a little better. And so that's the way you can practice your throwing skill after hours. Sir Ordu and their trusty steed. Since I'm using one with the idea that Sir Ordu is the quirk or meep up there. That's the brave knight Sir Ordu, and their trusty steed is the actual backer. Wait, what? Plaque also says Sir Ordu was allegedly the first quirk, to slay a dragon in single combat. Sir Ordu was also alleged to cheat at cards, though, so who are you going to believe? Sounds to me like Sir Ordu is more of a rogue than a paladin. I think most quirks are. Let's look behind the painting. Nope, nothing special behind this painting. Why aren't there more concealed safes around here? So we have some repeat lines. Here's some shelves. Let's look at them. All kinds of games and paraphernalia in here. Some of them look ancient. Those are actually really tiny shelves compared to our game shelves. We have one room devoted to games, another room devoted to books. Oh, I particularly like this one. This is Jarakith's painting. And he's got the bard and the other bard. He diddle diddle the kata on fiddle, while the bard stole all of the lute, L-U-T-E. I never cared much for fiddle music. Sometimes it's like the screeching of a... And of course that would be kata. There's obviously a great deal going on behind this painting. What is the relationship of the two bards? Are they sad or morally focused? Is the lute properly tuned? If you ever listen to an out-of-tune lute, you'll know that that's a terrible, terrible thing. Now we can talk to Joel over here in the rec room. challenge him to a game. Let's try cards. It shall be very entertaining to play cards with you. Well, we managed to sneak that one in before curfew. Gaming increased. That is game, is it not? I believe I have won this round, Sean. You show a good deal of promise at this game, Mr. O'Connor. It will be quite a challenge at the Pooh-bah table. And of course, these compliments are, he's a businessman. So we'll say done, and then Turk says curfew out of here at once. There's some actual very subtle stuff going on behind the scenes here. We're keeping track of time, but if you're in the middle of a dialogue or an action, we don't interrupt it. We allow you to get through that sequence, and then hopefully it doesn't mess up the time too badly. And then the timer takes effect, and Turk says, "This recreation will cease. Everyone return to your dorm room immediately. I will be watching you." And you would not believe how many bugs that causes in a game like this, and how long it takes to fix. And Aeolus is playing a happy tune on his panpipes and says, "Have you met Sophia? She's so amazing, and she spoke to me today. She's the woman of my dreams." Spoiler, she might not be the only one of his dreams by the end of the game. So let's give Aeolus a gift. I'm going to offer an apple, because we took a couple apples from the dining hall. Would you like an apple? Aeolus like that, and we moved apple. Bards should never turn down a chance for free food. You never know when you will next eat. Thanks, Sean. So that will have gained me. Go to the reputation screen. That will have gained me a little reputation with Aeolus. And we can talk to him and find out what's new. Sounds like you're in a good mood today. Today I saw an angel with hair like freshly picked mulberries and lips like marinara sauce. I'm writing a song about her. You ought to see Sophia. She was so sweet to me. I'd sit on her veranda if I could have Miranda. Oh, how happy I would be if I could kiss Sophie. You think she'll like it? We'll do the snarky. Maybe you should stick to playing your panpipes. Sorry. Ask about Sophia. So, who is this woman of your dreams? Sophia Miranda is the school receptionist. I was going outside to practice my bongos on the beach when I saw her sitting at her desk like Venus resting in her half shell, except for the short hair and glasses part. I stood in awe of her beauty, and she spoke to me. Bashar says he'd kiss marinara lips. She said, "Are you going out?" I just had some lovely, what was it now? Bow tie pasta with the lovely marinara sauce. She said, "Are you going out, coming in, or just going to stand here like a statue for the whole day?" Now, how romantic is that? She's clever as well as cute. Sean, you got to help me. Please speak to Sophia and tell her that I'm a nice guy who is funny and witty and who would love to take her dancing sometime on a date. Will you please speak to her for me? You can agree to speak to her, evade the question, or tell Aeolus to talk to Sophia himself. We haven't met Sophia yet, so let's agree to speak to her. And that'll give you charm increased and a new task. Sophia's so fine. Sure, I'll tell Sophia what a funny guy you are. Tell her that her eyes are like amber pools of ale, and that her hair looks like the sunset reflected in a glass filled with dolcetto wine. Check. I'll tell her you find her intoxicating. Tell her that her voice is like the dulcet tones of a peacock serenading his mate. If you ever listen to that, it's quite a screech. Mating peacocks. Right. Let her know that I want to take her out to a reasonably priced restaurant, and I'll pick up most of her tab for her. Thanks, Sean. You're a great pal to do this for me. Let's not piss him off by cleaning up the room. Let's stop on a good note and say goodnight. Sweet dreams, Aeolus. I won't be able to sleep a wink tonight, dreaming of Sophia. Fine, as long as you dream quietly, I'm going to sleep. Let's see, what could we do sneaking out at 10:40 at night? We don't actually ever go to sleep. Got 20 lira. Could go shopping. But I'm going to have to sneak into the Great Hall, because we don't want Turk to catch us and get those 10 demerits. So first we hunch over like a gargoyle. And then we stop and listen. Uh-oh, I hear Turk theme. I'm stealthy, he'll never notice me. Best way to not get seen by someone is to walk right behind them. People are really very stupid and unobservant that way. And if my stealth is good enough, he won't catch me. It's pretty early in the game, so it's not very good, but it looks like it was good enough. My stealth is all the way up to 15. Well, Turk's not the most observant fellow there is. Yes, don't try this at home. If you try to go like a gargoyle and sneak behind your mother, she'll probably catch you at it. I'm pretty sure Turk won't find me over here in this corner, so I can safely practice my listening skills. And all I hear is a big fat nothing. Well, of course, we'll never hear anything at this door unless somebody is hiding at the top of the stairs. Young master returns! So glad it's Gregor to see you again! And he doesn't even comment on the fact that I'm sneaking up to him. Let's shop at this school store. Yeah, he knew he heard me coming down the stairs. I could buy a healing potion or an antidote potion or some bandages. I could buy that book, Beginner's Guide to Lockpicks, or I could just get it from the library. Or I could buy some better lockpicks than I have. Or I could start in my school uniform, but oh man, that stuff's expensive this early in the game. Healing potion will take every penny I have and might be worth it. That's probably the best investment Sean can make. So therefore I'll get the lockpicks instead. I'll bet those wooden lockpicks would have gone fine enough, and I didn't really have to do any about that. Let's ask about Gregor. How are things today with you, Gregor? So honored is Gregor that Master Sean speaks to Gregor. Gregor's day is now delightful. Ask about the wine cellar. What do you know about the wine cellar? Gregor does not like the wine cellar. Too many mean drats. Drats do not like ratties. Gregor knows that there is more danger in the wine cellar as one goes farther from the store. If young master stays near the store door, Master Sean should be perfectly safe. We'll say goodbye for now. Gregor will miss Master Sean and the good master until the good master returns once more to make Gregor smile. Be happy and be safe, Master Sean. Now this is sort of like raiding an MMO. You have a cost effectiveness thing, is that the best thing you can get is the healing potions. But if they cost 20 lira and you're only getting 2 lira per drat body, you're going to end up losing money on your questing. So it's better just not to get hurt. And see, we're still at 23 out of 25. Thought maybe we'd have healed up a little overnight, but I guess the fact that we went to bed late means we didn't have a chance to heal up. Oh, there's the drat. I'm sneaking, so he's not seeing me. I may not look like I'm sneaking, but I am. Let's see if there's any more bottles in this wine rack. Examine the wine bottles. There's just one useful bottle left. Well, let's take it. Good. If something attacks me, I can throw this bottle at it. And we no longer have the take wine bottle option because we've exhausted all the usable ones. All the other ones are just too small to be useful. throw my empty wine bottle at the rat, dealing him a token amount of damage. I'm going to throw my throwing knife at him. Oh, that did a lot of damage. Okay, wine bottles don't make very good throwing weapons. Let's just hope we defeat the rat and get our dagger back. Ha! That'll learn him. So search the dire rat. Drat parts, yummy yummy drat parts, drat parts. Pick them up. Run! That's from a song that was popular in Dr. Demento. Fishtails, I believe, was the song. The lady protagonist in Hero U2. I don't know, I think we're revealing that. I think I've mentioned it. Her name is Nona. She's not a showgirl. Alright. Now I could get some more bottles. You know what? I think I'm better because even if I'm mostly going to be using my throwing knife, good to have some backup. And fortunately, there were 3 of them in that rack. Fortunately, like the grotesque sculpt and Larry, I can carry as many empty broken wine bottles as I want. In development, well, let us just say about Hero U2 in development that it did take us 5.5 years to make Hero U1, and that was after the Kickstarter, and there were several years of preliminary design went into before that. So on Hero U2, we've done preliminary design, we have a story, we have a little bit of artwork, and there's still years worth of work to go into it. I'm going to examine this gate here. It's a solid metal gate. I'm beginning to sense a pattern here. It's almost rusted shut, and it will probably be noisy when I open it. And I can see movement on the other side. Surprise, I see a drat. Well, I'll give you a subtle clue here. If I open this gate right now, I'm going to be attacked the moment I go through it, because they will hear me. However, I happen to have bought a bottle of oil, so I'm going to oil the hinges, a tried and true Quest for Glory trope. We were very generous within this game. You buy the oil once, you never need to buy it again. Probably too generous. Sean says, let's see if I can oil the hinges and the latch so it won't be so hard to open and not so noisy when I open it. And let us open the gate. Okay, hopefully this won't make too much noise. Onward, ever onward. Oil can. Oil can what? Oil can do it. I used to say oil can sing, but everybody who listened to me disagreed. Wood slats, half-made barrels. This is probably the Cooper's cooperage. A neighbor down the street made barrels for a living. He significantly improved my vocabulary on the subject. Yeah, we have to kind of make excuses sometimes for the fact that Sean knows an awful lot of things more than a street kid ought to know. But that also has to do with the fact that his mother was well-educated and taught him a lot at home. So we can see a drat there. Are there any more? Scroll back a little. That's as far as I can go. I don't see any more. Go come into this corner here and see if I can get that guy. Oop. Don't want to knock in the barrels. I want to interact with that drat. Use item. Let's see if we have any items. We have no items right now that we can use. Here's the interface, by the way. We have attack. Throwing brings up the throwing items you have. Use item will let you use traps and other items you've acquired. The hourglass will end combat. The chicken will flee. If we've already started the combat, if it's aware that we're here, this hourglass turns into end turn and basically wait. And occasionally may need to do that to get him to close in on you. In this case, I'm going to use one throwing weapon on the drat and try to whittle its health down and cut him down to about 60%. He's only got 7 health points left. They're fast, so it's going to get in, but it only landed a glancing blow, so I'm in good shape. Doki Doki Literature Club. When I right-click on the drat, it says the drat has seen better days, or at least days on which it was alive. So we have to keep track of the state of everything and tell the dead parts away from the live ones. So check out these barrels. Look at the barrels. It's possible that when the winery stopped producing, nobody bothered to tell the Coopers? Nah, Cooper's Guild would never let that happen. That's probably a reference to something in real life, but I'm not quite sure what. Oh, there's another drat. I've got my dragger back for the first one, so I'll be able to throw a knife at him. And because I'm very fit, I have a high fitness skill and pretty decent agility. I'm going to run up to an attack. It seems to do much better than wine bottles. Okay, this time we managed to get the drat down without even letting it get close enough to hit. And that is proper rogue strategy. The interesting thing about this game is it is designed with the idea that Sean is not the world's greatest superhero fighter. He is a rogue. Let's look at the barrels. And so he is not a super combat guy, but he does have a lot of tools that is available for him. And he has his agility, he has his stealth, and so he can use a lot of alternative strategies so that even though he's not there in plate mail and with a big two-handed sword and a shield, just never mind how you use those together, still he can manage to win some battles. As if I was running this place, I had 1,000,000 barrels. I'd have signs that showed what you're supposed to do with them, like fill these, and fix these, and ship these, and all that, just to keep it straight. But what do I know about running a failing winery? What do we know about running a failing game development company? Let's see. No, we're not failing yet. Look behind barrels. Anything behind these barrels besides dirt and droppings? Hey, there is something. It looks like a large sprung trap. And whatever got caught in it was probably eaten. There's an odd bone left. You! I won't let this poor critter's death be in vain. I'll put this trap to good use. So, now Sean has one of those usable items, and didn't even have to pay anything for it. So, that will give him some major advantages. He can knock on the barrels. There's a lot of that in here. Josh put knock on barrels all over the place with all sorts of things. Here it says there's a lot of rat droppings in the barrels here. I think I know what will happen if I knock on them. But just for kicks. Ha! Run, you foul beasties! Alright, let us continue to sneak around. There's a workbench. Uh-oh, I see a drat beyond there. Take the tools. Even if I had a use for these tools, they're too rusty to use now. They're more rust than tool. Unless I wanted to start a rust collection. So he's beyond the wall, but with some gaps in, I can see him. So I'm going to try and pull that drat. So I just know there might be other drats hiding behind him. I'm psychic that way. I'm going to back up as far as I can go. And throw one of those bottles. I don't want to go into an unknown room and be in the middle of fighting and have something else come up on me. Uh-oh, something else is coming up on me. So let's select it and throw another bottle at it. They're getting free hits on me this way, but I'm not going in the middle of what might be a pack of drats. I only landed a glancing blow, but it missed me. Yeah, the drats are very fast, but they're not very powerful, so they don't hit for much, and they're relatively easy to kill. Got a pretty good pile of bodies here. I'm not sure if I searched this one. Nothing but fleas. Drat parts, yummy, yummy drat parts. Oh, drat, parting is such sweet sorrow. Little Shakespeare reference. Let's see if there's anything else in here. There's a box stack. Look at the crates. If there weren't so many packing crates and containers left sitting around here for so long, there wouldn't be so many rodents and spiders and other things that bite. Sorry to unload like that. If you watched Lady Hawk, Sean has, we picked up a little bit of the character of the thief and Lady Hawk for Sean. So he talks to himself and, you know, it's like he's talking to someone else. There's a glass-making kiln. Let's look at it. Looks like some sort of oven used to heat glass and make bottles. Judging from the size of it, this thing could have warmed the entire castle. Well, let's light the kiln. If I bust up some crates, I could probably find enough wood to fuel this kiln. I could get a torch to light it. I could stoke up the heat to melt glass. Then I could probably die from smoke because the chimney's blocked with debris. Either that or burn myself in molten glass. It's a good thing I have no reason to do so. So, one of the hardest things in adventure games is coming up with all the reasons you can't do what the player wants to do. Let's try searching the kiln. Right, I want to stick my hand in an entire nest of drats and spiders. Ew, spiders. Did I tell you that I hate spiders? Wait, is that something glowing inside the kiln? Looks like a magical ring of some sort. Sigh. So does my sense of greed overcome my fear of a painful demise by spider venom? Who wants to live forever? Let's see what it is. I acquired the star ring. What's a ring doing in the oven? Did someone want to destroy it because it is unspeakably evil? Everyone knows you have to throw them into volcanoes, not kilns. Doesn't look particularly evil. Looks rather pretty. Doesn't look particularly melted either. Either it is tougher than it looks, or was thrown into the kiln after the fire went out. Well, it's mine now. Let's search the kiln. I can see nothing more in the kiln worth risking spider bites. So let us look at our equipment. We have now a star ring. The star in this ring glows, making the wearer brighter, smarter, and more perceptive. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's put it on. Now when we go to our character sheet, we can see our perception and our smarts have both gone up. And they're blue, indicating that they're up because of a magical buff rather than because I've improved the skill. I haven't looked at this for a while, so we have 4 other skills that went up for practice. And this is a practice makes perfect game. So the idea is to get lots of abilities and skills up to the maximum of 100. And there are Steam achievements and GOG achievements for that. Let's sneak out of here. I think there's some more crates. It's an open crate. Did I see something flash there? How dangerous could it be? Look at the open crate. Glass bottles. These might have been fresh out of the kiln, I would say 100 years ago. Is this castle 100 years old?
Yes.
This castle is more than 100 years old. This one is empty. They're all empty. Maybe the last ones that ever came out of the kiln. They're pretty lightweight. I can only see a couple bottles worth using as throwing weapons. And there we have acquired empty wine bottle, 2. So it was worth examining them because now we've got some more throwing weapons. I'm sneaking here partially because something might come after me again, and partially because it's a really good way to improve my stealth, and partly because it annoys Lori so much when I waste so much time doing that. Summer Days will be going on Kickstarter summer next year. Oh, I didn't know that. Ah, there's a drat right next to me, but he didn't see me thanks to my stealthy, hunched-up gargoyle look. He'll see me now, because I'm going to throw a dagger at him. Whew. Now, the only catch to this is the throwing knife does really a lot of damage, but the catch to it is if you decide to run away from combat, you lose anything used in combat. Oh, drat, party is switched to sorrow. I was going to go out because it's almost midnight, but I'm actually going to go deeper in because I promised, I was going to show you something. I didn't do that. Let's examine the gate. Solid, it's metal, it's rusty, and it isn't barred. Seems like a good way to go. I really can't really make out the room on the other side, but it looks big. Let's oil the gate. And listen at the gate. Sounds like trats on the other side. Smells like it too. Open the gate. Okay, let's see what's behind door number 3. That's a The Price is Right reference. Dark, dangerous. The dank smell of drats and sour wine. This is clearly my kind of place. I'm going to sneak up. Oh, there's a drat. There's another drat. I am going to take that drat that I selected right across the room and not do anything with it. It says target is too far away. Okay, I'm going to take this closer drat, back a little, and throw a knife at him. Now there's another drat there. Throw one more bottle, get within range. Okay, I don't want to fight 2 drats at once, 3 drats at once! If I hadn't thrown my dagger, I'd probably run away now. But I'm going to use that trap I found. So I go to the use item thing and say trap. And that drat is now trapped. He's taking 2 hit points around, and he can't move. And that'll let me focus on the other 2, and hopefully take them down before they take me, although this is going to be a critical hit. I got hit for 4 points. Fortunately, I don't hit very hard, but I might not survive this. That drat died from the trap. This is going to be close. Oh, I missed. We missed. Oh! Look at that. We got 5 health points left. Or stamina, as they're called in the game. But I have loot from 3 drats, and I reacquired my knife and my trap. And there may be some other stuff in here, but I'm really hurt, so I'd better get out of here. I'm going to stay stealthy, because there's this thing we all know about from playing role-playing games that caught me. I am going to flee like a chicken. Run! You fights and runs away, lives to loot another day. That time I hadn't used any equipment, so I'm okay doing that. So I show up exhausted in the store. I'm fine, just need to catch my breath a little. I'm fine, meaning I have 1 stamina point left out of 25. Yikes, that's close. So don't go in too deep. You may not be able to find your way back out. I'm going to sell loot to Gregor. Very good work, Master Sean. Please come back if you find any more drats or approaches to the dungeon. I'll be happy to buy them from you. And that gave us 28 lira. Or I'm up to 28 lira. I think maybe I'll buy one of those healing potions. That could have saved my life. Now, this is a kinder friendly sort of RPG. We don't actually kill you if you're defeated. Somebody finds your body and you wake up in the infirmary. But we secretly keep track of all that stuff, and at the end of the game, you'll find out, you know, who gets extra credit in Rogue class for having saved your life. I'm going to stealth my way back to my room. There's actually no reason to do that. I don't think Turk's still patrolling this time of morning. From an implementation standpoint, the stupidest thing Lori and I did with this game was, I don't know if it's stupidest, but one of the stupid things we did was putting the hero on hours, because we never make it to bed before 1 a.m., so we decided a rogue would certainly never go to bed before 1 a.m. Well, it turns out that that little hour extra we gave him between midnight and 1 a.m. causes all kinds of complications to the game, and we've been far better off setting a midnight forced sleep time. And that's because the game keeps track of days, and we have to treat 12:30 a.m. on day 7 as distinct from 12:30 p.m. on day 7. They're 2 different days, really. Let's see if I can study my desk. It says, yawn, it's too late to study anything now except my dreams. So, better go to bed. Try to sleep off some of that damage we took. Whoa, slept late, gotta go. Julie Doffs. Boy, you're giving away all the secrets. It's a good thing I'm not recording the stream anymore, because people would be able to look at this video and they would learn all the game secrets. So, Master Fro Norvald says, Herr O'Connor, I see you've had quite a rough night of it. Report to the infirmary immediately after class. So this time, instead of chewing me out for oversleeping, undersleeping, he recognizes that I'm badly damaged and tells me what to do about it. I love allergies. As I was saying, according to the precepts of our headmaster, the best way to motivate students to learn is to pit all of you against one another in a competition to see who is the, quote, best, unquote. You can kind of get a little editorializing here of what Orvald actually thinks about that. You will all be vying for the coveted title of Rogue of the Year. No doubt you are all drooling with anticipation at the mere thought of attaining such a prize. You will be judged upon your participation in the classroom and your mastery of rogue skills, as well as your actions throughout the course of this semester. You will be judged by your peers in this class, as well as by myself. I trust you are all now spurred to greatness by the mere thought of such an honor. He is making fun of the headmaster's manner here. We haven't really met the headmaster yet, but we'll learn more about him, and he's very formal. Herr Sophia, who do you believe will win this competition? I will be the one to earn the title of Rogue of the Year, Master. Fräulein McMichael, who do you believe will win? I will. Herr Kent, who will win? I will do my best to win, sir. Now, we've got a little bit of personal effectiveness training. Things like LifeSpring and AST, taught you to really take a positive attitude and always say, I'm going to win this. I'm good enough. I can do this. And I will commit to it. And Thomas is a little more like, I will do my best to win, sir. He's not so confident. Fräulein Esme, who will win? Katie, sir. I think she's best of all. And Cesare is not happy about that. It seems you have your first advocate, Fräulein McMichael. Congratulations. Cairo, who do you believe will win? Cesare will. You're already quite skilled in rogue skills, Herr Cairo. I'm surprised that you do not intend to compete. It is just, sir, that I think that Cesare will work harder to be the Rogue of the Year. You are undoubtedly correct. In other words, if you don't think you're going to work harder, you probably won't. Herr O'Connor, who do you think will win this competition? You can commit to win, say Sophie will win, say Katie will win, say Thomas, Esme, or Joel. All right. Who do you want me to vote for? Let's have a vote over in the chat of who should Sean say will win this contest. Let's see, Rod wants to go for Sean, and Mouse wants to go for Katie. Julie wants to commit to win. Sarah wants to go for Thomas. Vote for Katie, commit to win. Esme, Thomas. Well, the good news is that everybody likes every character. And it looks like we've got a few more votes for commit, but I'll give you a few more seconds to see who else comes in here. There's fast votes or commitments. Rocky! All right. Rocky Balboa.
Rocky.
All right, let me hit the 7 key on my keyboard. Darn it, it doesn't do anything. 8 key? And Main Girl says, I always root for my chosen love interest every file. So it was Thomas, then Joel, then Katie, etc. Well, that's a complete lack of commitment. I guess we're going to commit, because that seems like the most votes. Commit to win. Sophia is the worst. It's kind of fun, actually, if you do suggest Sophia will win, just to tweak him. Sean O'Connor says, I will. You'll have a slight disadvantage already, being the newcomer. However, you do have some slight potential. Cesare Sophia says, it will take a brains, skill, charm, and actions to win this competition. O'Connor doesn't have a chance. We shall see, shall we? I encourage all of you to strive for the title, regardless of its meaninglessness. We shall see if this motivates you to overcome your lazy tendencies. Well, Sean certainly has a problem with that. Today's practice session should be on dagger throwing. It's amazing how useful a well-placed dagger could be. I want to state for the record that I'm not lazy at all. I can be very dedicated at anything that is not officially work. Class dismissed. He's gotten over his Entlassen. So, Rogue of the Year. Can talk to Joel. Ask about him. How's it going? It's good of you to ask. I am, of course, happy to be of service to you. Ask about Joel. Yep, I can just get that line over and over. So he doesn't have a new dialogue today. Could browse his shop. Same things for sale. Still way too expensive. Let's listen to the practice room. Not hearing anyone. Alright, the secret to what to do in the practice room is I always go for the weightlifting as one of my tasks here because fitness increases stamina, and stamina will keep you alive. Let's practice with the kettlebell. Erg, arg, oof. There are other ways to play the game. You can, for instance, do a playthrough in which you fight no monsters whatsoever. And some locks we couldn't pick earlier, so I'm going to spend a little bit of time picking a lock. I have a little problem with this game is frequently I fail to make it out of the rogue class corridor, and there's probably the rest of the school up there, but I'm always too busy down here. We'll try one of the lockers for an hour. That'll take us up to 4:30. Locker 3. Practice lockpicking for an hour. C-A-R-O-L-L-Y is Carly. But she has such a neat name that Larry stole it for the character in the game. Up and down, just the way my life is going. Probably ought to clean up my act after all that gore spilled on me, but I'm going to get to the infirmary before it closes. Oh, unless, of course, if I get spotted by Turk. You should be in class. Say something polite. Let's say something polite. Good afternoon, Mr. Turk. The Disbarred Bards class is over for the day, and I wanted to make sure I know my way around the school. I wouldn't want to get lost on my way to school events, after all. And class is out already? You're most likely expected to study your lessons in the afternoon rather than dilly-dallying around the school. Because you're new here, I'll overlook your slacking off for today. Dining room is further down this hall, and we open at 6 for supper. Now, we could ask how you could better fit into the school, but I'll warn you right now that that one is a time bomb. So let's do it. Tell me, sir, what can I do to better fit in around here? I'd like to make a good impression. Humph. If you want to try to make something yourself, get yourself a school uniform from the store and wear it during school hours. At least that way, you won't look like a ragamuffin tramp. Updated journal. You can agree to get a uniform, mock Turk's suggestion, or take his suggestion under consideration. I didn't realize there even was a school uniform. I'll look into it. At the moment, you look like a total disgrace to the school. You need to dress up or get out. Let's ask about the store. I'm told I need to buy something for the school store. A likely excuse. The store is downstairs from here. Go to the end of the corridor, turn right, and through the door. The shopkeeper is another example of how ill-managed this university is. Why that overgrown rodent is tolerated here, I have no idea. Why, do I sense a degree of racial prejudice in our administrator? See you later. And he says, I want to see you as little as possible, Connor. Stay out of trouble and away from me. Curfew is at 10 p.m. If I catch you walking around the house, halls after that, you will receive demerits. We shall see how quickly you earn 100 demerits, so I can say farewell to you for good. So, bit of a run-in. That got us up to almost 5. Let's quick get to the infirmary. So yes, Dr. Nobody said I bought my uniform after my first crushing Pooh-bah win. I wore those clothes like a medal. Good plan. Yeah, a lot of people take authority too literally. And so when Turk says you got to get a school uniform, they say, oh, yes, sir, I'll get a school uniform. And they immediately go out to buy a school uniform. And the fact is that early in the game, you can't afford it. You're better off saving up your money until you actually get a significant amount of money from a lot of work in the dining hall or a lot of, a big Pooh-bah win. And, I almost got called out to the dining hall, but actually I made it into the infirmary for the early dinner bell. And here's Moira, the paladin instructor and healer. She says, you are seriously wounded. Let me help you. There, I got you patched up in time for supper. Go off to the dining hall. I'm sure you must be starving now with all the healing you took. Thanks so much. You really are a lifesaver. Try to take it easy for a few days. You were seriously injured. It will take some time before you recover all your health. And that's because we got ourselves down to 1 out of 25. And again, the complexity of a game like this, that took a lot of careful coding to keep track of the fact that you arrived after the dinner bell, but before required to go to the dining hall. And so that gave her time to heal you, but then she immediately sent you off to dinner rather than letting you interact further. So, what's behind your smile today, Esme? Is it your birthday or something special? Esme's got a date after supper in the rec room with Sophie. You can try to be polite, try to discourage the date, or say something snarky. Let's try to discourage the date. We don't think that's a good idea at all. If nobody likes mugs, you have to send them to the, what is that store that we have the mugs on? Cafe Press. Anyway, meanwhile, Sean says, you're dating Sophie? Why would you agree to do that? He's a phony. I wouldn't believe a word that guy says, and I wouldn't turn my back on him. Never mind you, he's saying this right in front of Sophie's, although he's at a different table. Sophie and Joel have their own table. He's just a snake in the grass, waiting to strike. Caesarius, gentleman with manners, good home and money. He says nice things to me. Caesarius, sweet. Yeah, like honey on a poisoned apple. Jealous much, Sean? What? No, Sophie, he's just such a pompous... It's not your business to tell me what to do. I will have a fine time with Sophie tonight in the rec room. Time to go, people. Everyone clean up your places. Esme, she can do anything with her stare. There's something special about Esme. Connor, there's food on the floor by your table. Mop it up. But I didn't. That's 5 demerits for talking back, young man, and you will mop the entire dining hall floor now. Just do it. So, you didn't do anything wrong, but Turk added another 5 demerits. And we're heading up there. We're up to 20. And we're sleepy because we didn't get enough sleep last night. And our fitness is up. I think we better go back in there and let's read the menu. Pepperoni and jalapeno pizza from Eureka Island Cuisine. Sounds interesting. Huh. Pepperoni and jalapeno. Who would do that on a pizza? Have we ever heard of that in a previous game? Nah. Open the door. Get that lovely reggae music again. let's go talk to Riki. Offer Riki a gift. Offer Riki an apple. Would you like to have an apple? Riki, she doesn't need no more apples. Riki, she has had all the apples she ever wanted to eat in kitchen. Apples, they'd be best in dumplings. Oh well, it's worth a try. Ivataya. Hey, Cabo, Mr. Shanshan. Hi. Let's ask about her day. How are things going for you today? Things go well as usual. Hey, say, Mr. Shanshan, thank you. Let's ask about working in the kitchen. You got some work for me to do? She liked that. There is much work for you to do. Let us get started. So we're not only getting money from this, we're getting reputation with the Fataya. And we're kind of trying to play a little of trope here. As you know, you got the kitchen lady trope or whatever, the cafeteria lady, and she's obviously a lot, you know, really special person. Where do all these dirty dishes come from? So we wanted to make her a significant character in the game instead of just a little also-ran. You do good work, Mr. Shanshan. Good job. I can say goodbye, and that's all we get to do right now. Maria Elaipe. Bye-bye. Let's see if it'll let me take another apple when I already have one. An apple a day keeps the munchies away. Acquired apple. Alright. Oh, I think I gave one to Aeolus, so. There's one place we haven't been yet. There's a door back here that we've completely ignored. That is the Hall of Heroes. And either side of it, we have a couple of lovely statues. This one is a fairy lady or an elf lady with long ears. Something about being near this statue that makes me feel calm and happy. The base of the statue says, Irana. She shared joy with the world and made it a safer place for all of us. I'm not going to try and steal that. Not what makes me happy. Can examine the door. Plaque says it's Big D's Hall of Heroes. Let's sit at the door. No one's in there. My perception went increased. I'm going to open the door. Now this is quite a large and complex room. A lot of paintings. There's a painting of a castle. This castle in inclement weather. There's some display cases with things in them. There's a statue of a warrior woman. Look at the statue. Plaque says Uhura, hero of the Simbani. And Uhura is actually a Swahili word that means freedom. I clearly do not want to get on her bad side. She'd point it out to me sharply and stick me in my place. Let's look at this display cabinet. Oh, there's a, what? A bone and a pillow and a brush in there. According to this plaque, this display celebrates the life and loves of Leo the Lionhearted. The items here are his favorite brush, his favorite pillow, and his favorite bone. An entire display cabinet devoted to a dog? He must be some special canine. There we have a book on a stand. Read the book. I don't know, it must be 1,000 pages long, maybe more. Is it even worth reading? Look at it. This book is massive and awfully fancy. The pages have gilt edges. The hand lettering is really elaborate. It's called The Fabulously Astounding and Deeply Touching Life of the Famous Adventurer, as told to himself, because who better? Being most unabridged, unexpurgated, and unbelievable. And with no detail held back of the numerous calamities I either single-handedly prevented or instigated, the hearts I conquered and probably shattered, and the countless lives I lived in the thrall of the wild. Part 1. Thanks. Thank the gods that's over. And that, of course, is a reference to the Famous Adventurers Correspondence School. Oh, who's this? Look at the statue. It's him, the headmaster of the entire school. The Famous Adventurer. Wait, the same person? The inscription at the bottom says hunter, explorer, author, raconteur, educator, warrior, paladin, wizard, and rogue, original founder of Hero University, and a force to be reckoned with. You pretty much have to be all those things to get away with a mustache like that. Slap the statue. I don't think so. He's made of stone. So he's sort of a hero in his own mind, I believe is what it's called. So lots of memorabilia from the famous adventurer, the headmaster of various adventurers here. There's the portrait of Big D over the fireplace. According to the plaque, this is Big D, a nobleman who sponsored this entire wing of the castle. I guess that was back in the days of the Illuminati. It says he lived here along with his wife Kathleen, who was a wizard, and their devoted dog Voodoo. Voodoo, I love that name. I can just hear it now. Sit, Voodoo, sit. Good dog. Look behind the painting. Nothing behind the painting except an enormous castle. This one, in fact. There's a fireplace with some sort of slogan on the mantle. That's look at the fireplace. There's some carved knight designs flanking the fireplace. They're just decoration. But the mantle is interesting. The mantle carving says Per Lucem Tenebras Frangimus. I have no idea what that means, but it was clearly carved here a long time ago. Subtle hint, subtle hint. That might be a clue to something. If nothing else, it's a clue to the origin of this castle and the... let's listen at the door before I go out. Don't hear anyone right now. Let's leave the room. So it's going out on the courtyard. Oh, there's Esme. Hey, Esme. Don't say a word to me. Not one word. Well, let's try the say nothing. She says, Sophia, he is stupid. He is a lying, creeping jerk, a cat and a dastard, a rotter and a two-faced no-goodnik. He is all of those in verse. I have a choice of I told you so or I'm sorry to hear that. Let's go with the I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, I'm sorry your date didn't go the way you hoped. You tried to warn me. I just didn't want to hear. You're a good friend, Sean. Ooh, test completed. Esme and Sophie was a task I didn't even know I had. Esme said she's dating Sophie tonight. That can't go well. Wonder if I should go to the rec room to see what will happen. Yeah, I got a lot of tasks to do here. I have to practice dagger throwing. Dress for success. Uh-oh, Mr. Turk will give me demerits if I'm not wearing the official school uniform during school hours. That's the time bomb I mentioned earlier. You have 1 week after you talk to him to get your uniform together. If you don't, he'll start giving you demerits. Fortunately, there's an easy way around that, which is sneak all the time. Don't let him see you. You don't have to wear the uniform. Oh, Sophia asked us to talk to her. I also asked us to talk to Sophia, and I completely zoned out on that. Done. Interrupt Sophia at Esme's date. That was a task I didn't even know I had, but we did it. Let's go see if Sophia's still in the reception room late at night. Listen at the door. Don't hear anything. Open the door. Locked. Pick the lock. Darn, no good, still locked. Obviously, I have to work on my skills. There's a gazebo in the courtyard. This decorative gazebo gives a subtle, suggestive seclusion. Let us attack the gazebo. Better not. It might awaken and eat me. What? Surely you know the story of Eric and the Dread Gazebo. It's terrifying! That's a role-playing game story that was first published in Alarms and Excursions. Oh, there's a tropical bush I can examine with lovely yellow flowers blooming on it. The story of Eric and the Dread Gazebo was a real-life, so to speak, gaming story that our friend Richard Aronson published in Alarms and Excursions, and we got him to write an extended version of it for our role-playing magazine, The Spellbook. And the Spellbook later became part of our entree to Sierra to prove that we had some real role-playing game credentials, and let us say, hey, yeah, we know how to make a role-playing game, when Ken Williams was looking for one. Listen at the door. Don't hear anything being smashed or destroyed, so it could be worse. Open the door. There's Sophie saying, "What do you want?" Talk to him or challenge him in a game. He says, "Get out of here." Say, "Talk about Esme. Aren't you meeting Esme here later this evening? She mentioned something about that at supper." Then again, I just saw Esme in the courtyard, looking like she wanted to strangle someone. Guess she must be thinking of you. That doesn't concern you, O'Connor. What? It doesn't concern me that you hurt Esme's feelings tonight by being a jerk? Is that it, Sophie? Guess again. Don't try this crap around here again. What are you going to do about it, Connor? Let's see. My roommate is a bard. He likes to make up songs all the time. I could just hear him now, singing a song about you. Oh, come on, ye maidens, and listen to me prate about Cesare Sosi and his sorrowful fate. How he tried to kiss an unwilling miss. Now he's unable to go on a date. I'm sure everyone will be singing that song around here. If you ever try it again. And I could ask about Sosi. Why not? What's this, Cesare? I'm supposed to find you all... I'm surprised to find you all alone. I thought you were meeting with Esme this evening. That is none of your business, O'Connor. Leave here. I thought I made it clear that I don't follow orders, particularly not yours, Cesare. You are playing with fire, O'Connor. You will be burnt. Say goodnight. I'll be watching you, Sophie, whatever you do. You will pay for your penance. Ta-ta for now. So, could be a bad enemy to make, but on the other hand, it feels good to make that bad enemy. Looks like nobody else is here at the moment. I could sneak in a dart throw before curfew, maybe. Practice starts. Throwing increase, just a bit outside. I think I'm getting a little better. And curfew. This recreation will cease. That's a play on a reference from MASH, actually. Everyone return to your dorm room immediately. I'll be watching you. And Ella says, "Did you see Sophia today? Isn't she gorgeous?" No, I kind of forgot.
I did that all the time. I kept forgetting that I wanted to do it.
Talk to Aeolus. What's new? How are things with you today? I wrote a new song for Sophia today. Sophia. To the tune of Maria. I just saw a girl named Sophia. And suddenly I start to give away my heart to her. Sophia, I'm in love with a girl named Sophia. I know that it's a name, but I'll never be the same again. I tried doing once, and people said, "Well, it's clear you're not a tenor." Sophia, please say that you'll love me forever, and I promise I'll always be clever. Sophia, I'll never stop singing Sophia. What do you think? Is it worthy of her beauty? Yes, Mouse can sing that. Mouse can actually sing. Yes, I've had a rough life with my own family as I sang in the car all the time along with things, saying, "Don't quit your day job." Let's be tactful. This song clearly proves that you know Sophia's name. I'm sure she'll be flattered. Great! Now I have to get up the nerve to sing it for her. I don't suppose I could get you to sing it. No, I could not do it justice, as I just proved. And let us say goodnight. Try not to hum in your sleep tonight. It's hard to stop singing about Sophia. She's the harmony of my heart, the fugue of my feelings, and the legato of my love. Then try being pianissimo with your pillow in your mouth, please. Lori and I often sleep with pillows over our heads. But not for the snoring. Keeps the light out in the morning. We are not morning people. I think I just have time to study my class notes without staying up past midnight. And I can get my smarts up a little. 1:30. Let's get to bed early for a change. Don't really want to go back in that wine cellar after almost dying the last time. Or at least being knocked unconscious. Master von Orvald, as I was saying, today we shall discuss the way of the fledermaus. Herr Kent, will you please translate for your associates? Love the word name fledermaus. There happens to be a classical piece to that title. It means the way of the bat, sir. Precisely. And what do you think about it is about the bat that we shall be emulating, Herr O'Connor? You can take a wild guess, a silly guess, or a snarky guess. Oh, I think we should go with silly after hearing that song about Sophia. We go out in the middle of the night, wrap ourselves in the wings of darkness, and put the fear of the unknown in our foes? I think that's the Shadow again. Or Batman. You've come up with an inventive use of the metaphor, but rather implausible. Bats explore their environment through the use of sound. They listen to everything around them and use that information to maneuver. I'd have to check the script, but it's quite possible that if you had spent some time in the library reading out about rogue stuff, that you would have learned about the way of the fledermaus before you had this lecture, in which case it might have added another option to that menu to actually give the right answer. We do that a lot with things like passwords. That's one of the hard things about point and click instead of typing interface is, how do you keep a password secret? And what we do is we find out whether the player has learned the password, and if not, the correct password doesn't show up in the menu. So that gives you a little bit of sequencing, and you have to actually solve the puzzles to a degree. So, like the fledermaus, like the bat, so too do rogues. At night, your ears are often better than your eyes at recognizing danger. That's why rogues listen first and then act. Perception is a critical skill for social situations. You can learn a great deal by what others say, particularly when they don't know you are listening. We get excellent practice for our listening skills in this class because you, sir, always say such important and interesting things. Say sorry to suck up. I hope that all of you listen as carefully as Herr Sophie. Your assignment for the rest of today is to practice the way of the fledermaus and use your listening skills. And so we now have a new task, practice eavesdropping. Be aware of noise and its source. Sound can be your first warning of oncoming danger. Evening is an ideal time for listening at doors. People are more likely to gather for conversations at that time. Try not to be too obvious about it, particularly when you're listening at doors. Keep in mind rule number 6. Don't get caught. I do not know why we have the second lag. There, a 20-second lag. There is a field to 20-second lag, and I have that set to 0, and I have delay set to off. But something in my settings. How much what? Take my money, says Mouse. Thank you. Class dismissed. Now, Lori says it's only a 10-second lag for her. All right, so let's go and see. We've got an awful lot of tasks that keep in their journal. Might be time to do a few of them. We want to pick locks. Learn to play Pooh-bah. I didn't get around to doing that. Cook and Shaba. Need to practice sneaking. Need to talk to Sophia. Need to practice dagger throwing. Dress for success. Practice eavesdropping. That's a lot. Practice eavesdropping says, no need to drop any eaves, but it's important to use the way of the fledermaus to listen at some doors before barging in. That, of course, is a reference to the Lord of the Rings movie, which is one of my favorite films of all time. But I'm a little prejudiced because Lord of the Rings is one of my favorite books of all time. Master Henry, U.S. Road to Redemption says, yes, speak faster. Oh, look at the door, open the door, listen at the door. We better practice our listening skills. Perception increased. I think Katie's talking to someone on the other side of the room. Let's open the door. There's Thomas doing horribly at throwing daggers, and Katie saying, you're not very good at throwing daggers, are you? No, I've never thrown one before coming here. So why are you bothering to practice? You're not a sneaky dagger sort of person. You really don't fit in with the rest of us losers. I don't think anyone in this class is a loser. Maybe we don't fit in with the other students here, but that doesn't mean we can't be heroes. And yes, so maybe I'm not as skilled at daggers or fighting as most of you in class, but I'm learning. I won't stop learning until I've mastered all the skills this class teaches. So some perseverance. And Katie walks off, and you could talk to either Katie or to Thomas at this point. I'll sneak up to Thomas and talk to him. Greet Thomas. Don't let Katie discourage you, Thomas. I'm sure you'll get better. He can hardly get worse. They'd say something clever to rebuke her, snarky to amuse her, or something polite to support Thomas. Let's be supportive. You have to give Thomas some credit, Katie. He may have a lousy throwing arm, but he's not giving up. Maybe someday he'll even manage to hit the target. And get to know Thomas. So why are you in this class instead of the Paladin class? Did you fail the holier-than-thou requirement? Paladins aren't holier-than-thou. If anything, Paladins tend to be too humble. And Lady Moira here is very kind and sweet. If I work hard enough to impress Master von Orwald with my diligence, maybe he'll recommend that I transfer to the Paladin classes. Say goodbye. Your determination is inspiring, or maybe that's tiring. Either way, I'll leave you to it. Goodbye. Let's kind of work our way around Thomas. It's a tight fit here, but I think we can get to the daggers and practice them, because... And we have task completed. I'm pretty bad with daggers, too. It's harder than it looks. Drawing increased. But now, looking at our journal, we've lost the practice daggers, and there it is under done. Hooray! So what else do we want to do? Oh! Second job is sneaking. We still need to work on that. We still need to get better at lockpicking. And we need to talk to Sophia before we forget. I'm going to sneak all the way there. Now, of course, this is a silly way to practice sneaking. The real way to do sneaking is not take things so seriously that everything has to be done right now. And instead, later in the game, when you get down to the sea caves or the catacombs, or even in the wine cellar where it's dangerous, sneak around and keep yourself safe. But I should have listened at the door. I just picked the lock instead. Some of us are very habit-oriented. We'll try an ordinary lock rather than the locker. That won't take quite so much time. And I got a tool use increase. Got it. I think that may be the first one I picked successfully. My tool use is up to 23. Well, Morchoi is not just generous, but he contributed a lot to this game. He actually designed, or did the preliminary design for the dungeon at the end of the game. And it's all based around, his experience with his D&D characters and so on. I'm going to sneak all the way in the Great Hall, because I really don't want to meet Turk. Not when he's told me to buy a uniform and I'm still dressed in rags. I hear the Turk music, I better hide. Sean may not look stealthy, but the curtain gives him just enough cover. Okay, instead of following all the way this time, I'm just going to sneak out to the courtyard. Freedom! I can run now. Scroll this back a little so I can run farther. I'm going to run all the way to the reception room. Let's listen at it. I can hear someone humming. We had something about listening to someone buffing her nails, and someone complained about that. Said, yeah, it is a bit of a stereotype. Except for those of us who, Lori, do you do that? Lori, yeah, Lori actually does buff her nails while she's working. That's about her sole concession to traditional, doesn't use makeup and such, because she's naturally beautiful. If it isn't the new kid in town, so who's your sponsor, sweetie? So we can come up and talk to Sophia. We can introduce ourselves charmingly. Hello, please let me introduce myself. I'm Sean O'Connor, and you must be the loveliest person here at the school. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Sophia Miranda. I like to keep informed with everything that goes on around here. In her sultry alto voice. Let's talk to her. I'm curious about you, honey. Who is your sponsor, and just why did they send you here? And sponsor? What's that about? Let's say something cunning to impress her. Actually, I was sent to the school. It seems I have a great deal of potential. Well, let's see how much potential you really have. We can talk about a sponsor, but let's tell Sophia about Aeolus's interest before we forget. My roommate Aeolus has a crush on you. He's been writing songs in praise of your beauty. He's just too embarrassed and shy to share them with you. Aeolus, is he the funny-looking kid with the stupid beard who comes here to stutter at me? Ah, that's him. Tell Aeolus to bother someone else and leave me alone. He creeps me out with his weird eyes. That didn't go so well. Let's talk about a sponsor. Say something flirtatious. Let's ask Sophia about sponsors, because I don't have the faintest idea what she's talking about. What do you mean by asking about a sponsor? Am I supposed to have one? Judging from your shabby clothing, you aren't exactly Mr. Moneybags, and somehow, I don't think you got here by your good looks and charm alone. So who's paying your tuition, sweetie? Let's talk about the mysterious stranger. I was brought to the school by a bearded, one-eyed stranger I'd never seen before. So why did you follow him? He made me an offer I couldn't refuse. It's our Godfather reference. Get to know Sophia. Let's do something snarky to please her. My moxie increased. So I'll bet you're the sort of person who knows all the dirt and gossip about everything that goes on around here. I like to keep track of things, yes. And sweetie, I'm always happy to learn more. She liked that. Say goodbye. See you later. Come back again soon, cutie. I like you. Oh, well. Makes me a little better than Aeolus. Here's the front door of the school. I came in this way when I got here. Let's open it. This isn't an open campus, baby cakes. You're in here for the duration of the semester, unless you get kicked out, of course. I've seen it happen to the best of them. Made a note in the journal. Nope. There's some paintings around here. There's a mighty man spearing a colossal eel. Painting is entitled Sergeant Mombera McGillicuddy, Warrior Instructor. Well, we'll learn a whole lot more about him when we get into the Warrior game, which is game 3 of the series, not including the side games like Summer Days. Yeah, we figure the series will be done sometime by the time I'm my mother's age. She's in her 90s. Maybe sooner. Anyone who goes around fighting monsters in a short skirt has got to be tough. He undoubtedly is. Whom else have we in here? There's the famous adventurer. Oh, that's an interesting one. Oh, there's Moira the Paladin Instructor. That's not the way she looks in the infirmary. The title of this painting is Lady Moira Gillen Shannon, Paladin Instructor. A young woman is swinging a flaming sword at a banshee. Impressive. I guess that the sword belonged to the knight lying wounded on the ground. Ah. And that's why it's only a red flame, is because she is still a beginner with it at this point. But she is a true paladin, and therefore able to wield it. Carrying around a flaming sword sounds awkward. I wonder if paladins have to be careful not to set forest fires or taverns in flames. Let's look behind the painting. Nothing that a little banshee residue remover won't take care of. Yes, it's a very realistic painting. Portrait of an adventurer. This is the famous explorer. Oh, now he's the famous explorer instead of the famous adventurer, who boldly goes where no one has gone before. Star Trek reference. It also says headmaster and the founder of Hero University. At least we all know who to blame around here. So these paintings are all school staff rather than backers. This painting is titled Professor Sylvia Witherspoon Fanshawe. Yes, Featherstone Haw. We are instructed in proper British English is all contracted down to Fanshawe. Instructor in the arcane arts. Yeah, her name is bigger than she is. Yes, she's small, but she's powerful. Fighting a whole bunch of zombies there. She looks like a good person to have at your side when you're walking through a graveyard in the dead of the night. Not that I recommend doing that, of course. Let's look behind it. Nothing behind it at all. After looking at a painting like this one, it's harder than ever to look at blank walls. They're just so dull. Alright, we have successfully talked to Sophia. It's a miracle. I managed that probably 1 game in 5. We still need to learn to pick locks, learn to play Pooh-bah. Dress for success can wait. Tell Aeolus that Sophia isn't interested. Oh, that's going to be hard. Well, it's still afternoon. Let's go pop into the rec room. Nope. Could have eaten some fruit from that tree. That's a pomegranate. Let's listen at the door. Get that perception up. Open it. And haha, I'm all alone. I can get to the book and nobody will stop me. Maybe I can learn something from reading this. Okay, Pooh-bah is a gambling game. We all ante, and the dealer gives us some cards. Then we bet or fold. If we stay in, we can draw some new cards and try to improve the hand. Then we bet again. The best hand wins. It's kind of like draw poker. Best hand, okay. Grand Pooh-bah beats everything. Pooh-bah's next best. Then a Fizbin, a Mimi, and Meh. Wump is the worst. Staying in on weak hands is just a way to lose lira. If I'm behind at the beginning, odds are I'll still be behind at showdown. There's some very important poker advice to everybody. Don't play the bad hands. Wow, who knew such a simple game could be so complex? That's the early dinner bell. It's about time to go to the dining hall. Let's see whether we can sneak over to the card table and practice card theory for a half hour. He says, if I play my cards right, I could raise my game. So, if I pull this, my odds increase too, and luck and gaming both increased. Odds are I've improved. And he managed to get all that in before dinner time. Quick, onto the dartboard. I think we already met our requirement for throwing darts, but throwing may keep me alive down in the wine cellar. It's all in the rest. I think I'm getting a little better. I'm starving. I need to find the dining hall before it closes. Oh, you emptied that plate. Best part of this school is the all-you-can-eat suppers. So this is one of the things we did with the scripting and storytelling is you're at supper every night, but we don't need to overload it too much. So some nights where you don't have big conversation events going on. Listen at the door. Be quiet. Read the menu. Today's calls for your Reuben cuisine. Ayamase stew, dodo, and eon. Not sure what that is, but it sounds tasty. Actually, at this point, he's already eaten, and it was tasty. Let's open the door. I'm going to go stealthy and sneak up to Ifitaya. She'll never catch me. Maybe I'll take an apple while I'm at it. Never know when I'll get a sudden craving. Acquired apple. So I'm moving slowly, hunched over the gargoyle like a gargoyle. Nobody noticed when I talk to them. Hey, Gabo, Mr. Shan-chan. Hey, hi. Ask about work in the kitchen. There's some work for me to do? There is much work for you to do. Let us get started. What a mess. Good work, Mr. Shan-chan. Good job. Ask about day. Go well as usual, so that means basically no particular event today. Notice we do subtle little changes in the text each time you do something like working in the kitchen, and that's just to try and give it a little life. We try not to repeat lines. All the conversations are single-threaded, so you can't go back and say something snarky and then say something humorous. So, big things I have right now are learn to pick locks. I'm not really working in stealth. Let's get around here faster so I don't bore all of you to tears. Alright, what should I do tonight? So we had a lesson in listening. So let's go listen at the doors up in the mezzanine again, see if anything's going on. There's the faculty lounge. I hear people talking. Hey, that sounds like a pretty good time to listen. I hear people talking. Oh, now my perception has gotten good enough to hear people. Professor Fanshawe says, "Isn't it wonderful to have a school full of students again? Such bright, alert, happy minds, eager to feast upon the bounty of our wisdom." Ah, I need an English accent. I'm not sure I have an English accent, at least not a female one. Not every student is as enamored of learning as you are, Sophia. Most see this school as an unpleasant means to the goal of glory and wealth. That, of course, gets into the title, Quest for Glory. Why did we have that title? She says, "'Tis a new semester, a new set of students, and a new beginning, Gerhard." That's Moira, so she's supposed to be speaking in an Irish accent, and Laurie ought to be doing this, because I'll bet Laurie can do a female English and a female Irish accent. Why am I at the microphone anyway? Sure, there's no need for you to be all grumpy and cynical so soon. Not being grumpy, Moira, I'm a realist, and I am always cynical. So, the master's name is Gerhard, Grumpy Gerhard. I like the sound of that. I better go somewhere else before I get caught eavesdropping here. I wouldn't want to make the master any grumpier. Let's not try to open the door or pick the lock while people are in it. Unmarked door. See if anything's... I think I hear someone talking in the next room. Okay, well, let's go stealthy. And let's listen at this door. I can't make out the words, but someone is talking in the room. Open the door. I'm going to sneak in. Thomas is over by the sea serpent statue. He's talking with someone. I don't see anyone else there. I don't hear anyone else's voice either. Who's he talking to? I'll have to be sneaky if I want to find out. So let's sneak over to the sea serpent statue and hide behind the statue. This is a good listening point. I don't understand it, sir. He's talking to Kendrick. I thought that the other students here would really want to be heroes. Why else would they come to a school for heroes? I hear the sad violin music playing in the background. However, my classmates all seem to be here for personal gain or to learn thief skills. They don't care about helping others or making the world a better place. Maybe it's just the rogues that don't care. Now at this point, I could talk to Thomas, or I could sneak out in the room and turn off my stealth and walk back in. Let's knock on the door. And Thomas says, "The door's unlocked, you can come in." Open it. So these are all what we call events in the game, that there's constantly stuff going on in different days and times of the game, and depending on what you've done, where we have little events like this Thomas thing going on, and if you happen upon it at the right time, you can get it. In this case, the clue was during class that the master told you to, practice listening everywhere, and that at night was the best time. And when you get close to the door, it clues you in that you should listen to it. Talk to Thomas. What brings you up here so late in the day? You can say something polite, something clever, or something snarky. So let's say polite. Oh, I was just scouting around the castle. I didn't expect to see you here. I feared you spent all your time either studying in the library, practicing in the practice room, or reading in your bedroom. You seem like the studious type. And we can ask about Thomas. So what are you doing here this late at night? I guess I just find this room to be very peaceful this time of night, so I come here to relax before going to bed. Ask about the room. So what is this place all about? This room, I mean. This is the common room for the Paladin class. It's dedicated to Darla, one of the first Paladins to graduate from the School of Heroes in Somaria. I gather that she is a bard as well as a Paladin since she plays the violin. She has dedicated her life to protecting animals and bringing the joy of music into people's lives. Darla isn't a storybook paladin, fighting dragons and rescuing people in distress, but she's still very much a hero. I really admire her. And say goodbye. Now that's what the School for Heroes was all about. We had How to Be a Hero and the schoolforheroes.com earlier, and what we did is we tried to take the kind of things from fantasy role-playing and from Quest for Glory and say, well, what if there were heroes like that in real life? What if everybody could choose to be a warrior or a wizard or a paladin or a rogue and try to do good and heroic things, but just with their own abilities? And we gave them lessons to apply lessons of heroism in real life and try stuff. And, Laurie got to role-play as all the teachers. Originally, she split the duties with her co-writer, and then she took it all over. And it was great, and the only problem with it was it wasn't scalable. We didn't have a way to share that with thousands or tens of thousands of fans, like we can in a computer game. Same problem with running a D&D game is, you get 8 people, get a really wonderful and unique experience, and then it's gone. So that's why I wrote the one D&D module I did, is so it could be shared with a broader audience. It was called the Tower of Indomitable Circumstance, the Judges Guild, and that was another, the linchpins or the milestones that helped me get into Sierra. So I was able to wave this thing in front of Ken Williams and say, hey, here's the fantasy role-playing module I wrote. I know all about how to make fantasy role-playing games. And boy, I'll tell you, in the game industry, everybody's an amateur. Nobody, including us, ever knows what they're doing, and you just wing it the best you can and hope you get something good out of it. All right, well, Thomas, I can say something polite, or I can say something clever to Bond, or something snarky to mock the master. Let's go with clever this time. Yes, another fun-filled day, as you and I face the challenges of having no clue what we're doing in Rogue class. Hey, that's like what I just said about game design. But still finding ways to make it through without making total fools of ourselves. Yep, that's the imposter syndrome. That's making games, and it's being a rogue. So that's about all I could get from this. But later on, because I had this event, we have a thing called tags, and they're invisible little flags that are attached to different characters and objects in the room. And the tag on Thomas says that I had this conversation with him, and later on, he'll react to that, and we'll be able to continue it. There's a green couch here. I can sit on the couch. If I sit on one of those, I'll probably never get up. I'd just melt into it and nestle there forever. Search the couch. Let's see if any Lyra fell into the... Or they're Lyra. I think they're Lyra. Fell into the cracks of the couch. Darn, nothing hidden here today. So, that's another one of those things you can do every day, and sometimes you'll get lucky and find something. Leave the room. 9 o'clock at night. So apparently the practicing daggers achievement is not just practicing daggers. Oh, I succeeded it though. Practice dagger throwing. Class assignment was to learn a dagger. Could be useful. How to throw a dagger. So lockpicking is the one I'm weakest on right now. My tool use is 23. Probably want to get it up around 25. They'll decide that I learned it. Some of these are tougher than others, tougher requirements than others. Let's listen at the library door. Quiet. But then again, aren't all libraries? better walk in here. If I were to look at this book, I would get another part of the story there, but I won't go into that right now. Let's go back up to the Disbarred Bard section and see if I can learn anything new. It's that wine again. I went by the painting. Let's go see what's going on there. Examine the painting. Looks like an ordinary painting of a dog, a friendly, happy sort of dog. The plaque says that this is Leo the Lion-Hearted. I guess he's a brave dog, too. Huh. Leo the Lion-Hearted. Seems like I ran into that name somewhere. Why do I get the feeling that Leo is sad and lonely? Sorry, Leo. There's nothing I can do for you. If I ever find a way to make you feel better, I'll be sure to let you know. And I have a new task, or new quest. Poor puppy. Weird. Now I'm going around talking to paintings, and they're talking back. Let's look behind the painting. I guess I really should under the circumstances. But hello? Nothing behind the painting. No secret doors, no secret hidden dog kennels, no ghosts, and no slavering lords of darkness. I'm glad about that last part. Now what's really going on there is it's just set a secret tag that I had that I tried to do that. And some of the other objects of the game will react about the fact that there just might be slavering Lords of Darkness hidden behind paintings. Let's examine the road bookshelf, the Disbarred Bards. Study the books. I can study Beginner's Lock, a guide to picking locks, or Hide and Go Sneak. I'm still working on lock picking, so let's do that one. But it's getting close to curfew, and it's too late. Darn it. What else can I get done before 10 o'clock? Let's listen, make sure Mr. Turk isn't there. Don't hear anything. Open the door to the Great Hall. Listen at this door. Nothing. Open the door. Does that name Leo the Lion-Hearted sound familiar? And that display celebrates the life and loves of Leo the Lion-Hearted. He must have been pretty important to have a display cabinet here. And now Sean says something that we didn't get before. Before, we just had those two lines. Now he says, wait, Leo is the name of the dog in the library painting. This must be his bone. So the whole game is context sensitive like that. I'm going to try and open the display cabinet, but it's locked. Now I will try to pick the lock. Got it! Now I can take the brush, the bone, or the pillow, or leave the case alone. Let's take the bone, because we know he's looking for that. I think I know someone who might enjoy having this back. I guess while I'm at it. I've done enough damage to display. Now the cupboard is bare and the poor dog is done. That's good. I should write that down. Listen at the door. Nobody out there, but my perception went up. Try and run to the library before 10 o'clock. Yeah, this is an intentional decision we made, is to make time a currency. So it's not just money you're looking for. You're trying to deal with very limited time and trying to figure out what you can squeeze in between your classes and going to sleep and going to supper and so on. Hi, Leo. Let's examine the painting. Leo looks happy enough, but I swear it sure sounds like you want something. Offer Leo's bone to the painting. Ah, here, Leo. Here, Leo, I've got your... And you got a little cutscene. Little vignette to show that Leo is pretty happy about getting that bone. Oh, hey, guess you really missed that bone. Down, boy, down. Go, Slicks, tickle. Where'd he go, and where did the bone go? Oh, so that's what happened to the bone. This sort of thing makes me cry. I'm a sucker for that. Let's get out of here before we get caught. Let's see, is Thomas back here? Oh, Thomas is here studying. Hey, Thomas. Nope, not the couch. Let's ask about Thomas. So, what do you think of this school? I don't know about this Hero University yet. I thought we'd learn all about heroes and noble deeds. I mean, this castle was supposed to be a bastion of heroism against the forces of chaos and evil. But here I am in the disbarred bards class, learning skills of which no self-respecting paladin would approve. Nothing as I expected it to be before I came here, not even the castle. This is a library. Keep your conversations restricted to your studies. Sorry, sir. Ask about books. Are any good books here? I don't exactly call them good, but there is a section upstairs devoted to the sort of skills we need for the disbarred bards class. I'll probably try to read most of them. Let's say something polite to encourage Thomas. Think of all the new things you'll be learning if you read all these rogue books. I'm sure you can find a way to put those skills to good use. So, where do I find those rogue skills books? Rogue skills section is upstairs. Just go past the dog painting around the corner. It's the last section nearest to the librarian's desk. So if you hadn't found it on your own, that's another way to learn about it. What do you think of this library? I didn't know there were this many books ever written. Isn't it wonderful? You can learn almost anything here. It's the best part of this whole place. I could spend all my evening studying. Say goodbye. See you later. Good evening, Sean. Let's give a gift while we're here. I could give him a magic ring, but I think that might be overdoing it. Let's offer an apple. Would you like an apple? No, thank you for the offer, but no. So everybody in the game has different gifts that they're finding, and I think you can guess what Thomas likes. He loves to read, and so books make really good gifts. And maybe some other things. Curfew, everyone out. Turksher gets around. Go immediately to your dorm room. And Aeolus says, someone left a letter for you in your bed. Ah, another letter. Mysterious letter this time. This letter is... excuse me. This letter is worn and faded like it was written years ago, and it's written to my mother. Dear Nora, you have my deepest sympathy for the loss of Donald. He was the best of brothers and the best of friends to me. There's not a moment goes by that I'm not thinking of him. If you need any help with anything, feel free to ask me. I'll always be here for you and Donald's boy. Your loving brother-in-law, Seamus O'Connor. Brother-in-law, huh. I didn't know I had an Uncle Seamus. My mother never talked about him. I don't even really remember my father. So, another mysterious letter that leaves me with more questions than answers. As if I didn't have enough questions already. Let's spin around. Aeolus. There's a reason why you're not supposed to be running in the dorm room. I could give him another gift. You can only do the apple once, so it won't let me give him an apple. Talk to Aeolus. Let's talk about Sophia. I spoke with Sophia about you. You did? Thanks! What did she say? You can be honest, tell Aeolus what he wants to hear, or discourage him. Being honest might be kind of cruel. Telling him what he wants to hear is kind of a lie. I think I'll just discourage him. You made an impression on her, but she didn't seem interested in getting to know you better. You probably should just find someone else. I guess I need to try talking to Sophia myself then. Thanks for your help. Updated journal, task completed. And what about the letter in the bed? What do you know about this letter in my bed? It was on your bed when I came back from supper. I just assumed you had left it there. It's weird. This letter isn't to me. It's to my mother from some uncle I'd never even heard of before. I think it was written years ago after my father died when I was a baby. So who would put an old letter on your bed? I don't know, but I'd like to find out. Now we can do a what's new. How are things going with you? I'm still working up my nerve to speak with her tomorrow. I'm writing notes on what to say so I don't bite my tongue when I open my mouth. Don't worry, Aeolus. You're a great performer. You'll do fine. And he liked that. Say goodnight. Sweet dreams, Aeolus. All my dreams of Sophia have turned to nightmares. That seems like a really good time to save the game, because we haven't done that lately. Do a new save. John's room after Sophia. We're getting quite an inventory build up. We've got our wooden lockpicks, our regular lockpicks, chalk, oil, some broken bottles for throwing, a throwing knife. It'd be kind of nice to have a couple of those. And realize they did so much damage. A ultra expensive healing potion that will feel terrible if we ever have to use, and a trap. So we might actually be ready to go into combat now. Got some pretty good stuff. Equipment, we've got that star ring that makes us smarter and more perceptive. Our reputation. We finally got Cesare Soci added to reputation because we talked to him. And Thomas Cat. We've got everyone in there. We've got 4 blank slots. There's apparently 4 more characters in the game that we haven't met. Librarian's actually just below neutral. And this would be a terrific time for Lori to take over the speech responsibilities.
Perfect time. Okay. Yeah, you're doing fine, Corey.
Bashar, the starting point is to talk to women instead of talking to girls. It's, girls. Talk. There's your cue. That makes. Lori is getting ready to take over for me. Let's see, what else could we do here? I could, maybe this time... Oh, I don't buy the lockpicking book. Got an interesting idea here. It's after 10 at night, and I better be careful with Turk. But I am going to run up and then sneak into the Great Hall. Women are definitely scarier than girls, but... I hear the Turk theme, so I'm going to go hide over here. I'm going to sneak right behind him. I had a subtle and cunning plan. Hey, freedom! I can run now. Go over to that library. And pick the lock. If I can get in. Still locked. Darn it. I can keep trying that. Uses up some time each attempt. So my subtle and cunning plan isn't working out too well. But I just increased my tool use, so that's part of what I was trying to do. If practice makes perfect, why can't I open this thing? We may have made some of these locks too hard for the early game.
Well, geez, why are you trying to do this late at night?
Stupid stuttered lop, I almost broke my pick on it. I guess we better quit that. Play in the fountain, we can do that. If this were Hero K, I probably would. Why? I have no idea what that's about.
I think it's Hero Kindergarten.
Oh, Hero Kindergarten. Yay!
Yeah, yes, Corey needs to put on his hat. He should do that, yes, if he gets back in the screen. As we said, the only reason we're not wearing a hat is because we can't with these stupid earphones. Okay. Yeah, Halloween isn't a thing in most places. Okay. If this were Hero K, I probably would. If this were Hero Kindergarten, which Corey didn't get. Did he go through our lovely... done here. Did he look at our fountain? I don't know. I love this character. Look at this statue. The plaque reads, among the most recognizable and ribald images in Nihon folk art, Tanuki, a rotund, jolly little bear-like animal, wearing a large straw hat and carrying a bottle of sake. There's a reason why the Tanuki has a loincloth. Usually in the artwork that you will see of the Tanuki, it's obscene, so just so you know. Although this Tanuki looks like he's about to cast a flame spell to blow up the school, we'd probably get along just fine together. Yeah, you're supposed to put on the hat. There we go. Corey in a hat. Hats are great.
It sort of goes along with my bandana here to give you sort of that.
I wonder if they like... I don't think so. Yes, enormous. Yes, well endowed. Those are all words, other than the hat. Okay, I wonder if they'd make good buddies. They look friendly enough. Pet the Tanuki. It feels like a granite statue, roughly. And we're done with that silly thing. Okay. Let's go around here and look at the other. This was for... no, we're not going to drink from that water. But we will look at this statue. Yeah, Carnival is very different, though. Yeah. Okay, let's look at this statue. This is my favorite statue, the Corgi. Corgi, the cuddly Corgi. He looks so sweet and lovable. But you have to figure that, since he's among rogues, he probably stole food and buried his master's gold in the backyard. Pet the statue. Who's a good boy? Who's a good little Corgi? Corgi, you are! Yes, you are! I think that was probably not me. Okay. Yes, that was for my son. He loved corgis. His wife loves beagles, so they have this running battle of which is cuter, beagles or corgis. Well, I'm glad to know that they still had Halloween. You say that I'm supposed to go do the wine cellar?
Yeah, go to the wine cellar to find the secret room.
Okay. All right. No. Let's see if we can get by Turk without getting caught. Oop, oop, oop. We better sneak. All right, I'll go to the wine cellar only because I need to get away from Turk. Yeah, I drink 2 pots of tea during the day, of which there are probably 2 bags of tea being used. All right, we'll come to the door. Yeah, corgals aren't very cute, I'm afraid. Sneak down here and... these are lovely drats, Mistress Esme. Splendid, luscious, fat drats. Much thanks to you, Gregor gives you. Mistress Esme is a mighty hunter. You are most welcome, Gregor. I am happy to hunt drats for you. Young Master Sean, welcome. Mistress Esme has brought me a fine catch of fresh drats. Gregor could not hope for a better set. Well, interesting. All right. Hi there. I didn't expect to see you here. You can ask, you can talk to Gregor first instead of Esme, and Esme basically gets all sniffed that you're, talking about her, and not to her face. So we went with the polite way. I did not come here to see you, so why would you expect to see me here in the first place? I did not expect to see you here either. What I meant to say is, I'm happy to see you here. Ah, it's good seeing you too. Ask about the drats. So you caught all those drats? Wasn't that a bit dangerous? It seems odd that someone like you would be killing drats. And what do you mean by someone like me? I meant that, I didn't know someone as pretty as you and in such a nice dress would go around killing drats. It's a good way to make money to buy things for class. Flirt with Esme. No matter what you do, you really look great. Even after just killing drats, you look as cute as anyone I've ever met. Flattery will not catch drats. It'll take more than words to win hearts, Sean. Invite Esme to hunt. I'm about to go hunting drats. Would you like to join me? I have hunted enough today. Good hunting to you, and good evening. No, I don't think we have to actually sneak around here. Yes, we'll go there. Talk to Gregor. Ask about Gregor. I see you are in a good mood today. Yes, indeed. Did you see these fine drats that Mistress Esme has brought for Gregor? The ratties will feast tonight. Of course, if Master Sean were to go hunting tonight, the ratties would feast even more. Ask about Esme. Does Esme hunt here often? Oh, yes. Mistress Esme hunts all the time for Gregor. The mistress knows exactly how to catch the tastiest of drats. Ask about the store. So, what's the best thing for sale at the store? Gregor has many fine things for sale. Master Sean would look very nice wearing the official school uniform. Gregor will be very happy to sell the uniform to the master. Yeah, right. Goodbye for now. Perhaps Master Sean will be hunting drats for Gregor? Gregor hopes so. Yeah, maybe. I think we did. Okay. We are going to Mordavia. Such a lovely land. A land to die for. We will go to the wine cellar. We will listen at the door. I can hear some drats running around the room. And then I will open the door. Good hunting. And now we will go back to sneaking. Yes. Stealth is line of sight. Stealth is, well, a line of sight is a radial. Or something similar. There's definitely, and it also is, depending upon your stealth, it affects the area in which the drat will detect you. Oh, what have I got in my inventory? Do I have any rat stuff? Let's see. Let us check. We have one throwing knife. I think we need some bottles or something. I don't know that he's picked up all the bottles you can pick up from this room. Alright, let's take a wine bottle. This makes 3. Ah, I do have some. Okay. Let's take another wine bottle. That makes 4. I'm glad he can count. I couldn't. Another bottle for my throwing weapon collection. That makes 5. And that's all I can get. Yeah, well, it all depends. Let's see, where's my use item? I want to throw an item, actually. Let us throw one of my empty wine bottles. Yes! Well, I got a nice sound. I can't see him. That's not so good. We really should be able to see the stupid rats. Let's throw our throwing knife, which actually does some damage. Yeah, that did some serious damage. We need to get some more throwing knives. And now, we will stabby stab this thing. Ta-da! Yes! We win! One dead rat. There's nothing quite like the odor of dead rat. The mumble, overworked, mumbled, underpaid, mumble, no control over my life was not our line. That was one of our programmers. It was Fishbox line, yes. Oh, there's no more rats in here. Too bad. I guess we'll try this door. Have we actually done this gate before? Open. Listen at the gate. I hear rats. More than one. Maybe more than two. I'd better be prepared for a fight. It's dangerous. I think this is what practically got Sean killed the last time. Well, you really should shower occasionally, I'm afraid. I think that's a life lesson we can all use. Examine the gate. All right, we'll open the gate. I don't care for the way, exactly the way this combat turned out. We should have been able to move the camera or move the character a little bit more. So I agree with the comment on whether to be able to pan. Would have been a good thing. Shame. Okay, and he has come into our... Oh, he's gonna get a bite on us. Not so good. Let's kill him instead. There we go. We got him! Yay! And we will... Oh, drat. Parting is such sorrow. Oh, the door has already been oiled if you don't have the option to... If you don't have the oil in inventory, which I didn't look to see. There's an oil. Ah, you're right. Yeah, if you don't have the oil in inventory, you can't very well oil the hinges. See? Either. And sometimes some of these give you a clue to that and others don't. Let's pick the lock. I have to find some good wine. Yeah, really. We didn't, back in my day, we didn't have dad jokes. We just called them jokes. Yeah, that sounds like a dad joke. All right. Still can't pick it. Pick the lock. Ah. Wow, this makes no sense at all. Why would anybody put such a difficult lock on a door in a wine cellar? Maybe they didn't want you in there, Sean. They were waiting for you to become a dad first, Corey? Yeah, I think Corey really works on dad jokes. Listen at the gate. So who's hiding? Well, I didn't actually. That was loud. Maybe too loud. It was. That was nasty. But it doesn't seem to have hurt us any. Oop. There we go. It's a dread. What do you know? Let us use our copious number of 3 bottles left at this thing. Got him. Again. I really wanted to be able to pull back and see him rather than have it happen off. Oh, you mean I have a trap? I should be using a trap. Yeah, that'll save me a life. There we go. Ha! There you go, you stupid rat. There we go. One down. Yes! We will get our trap back and a dead dry air rat. Yum, yum. And we'll sneak around and see if there's anything else. Did we actually look with things here? Look at the table. I'm supposed to read this. Oh, yeah. What's this on the table? Oh, a piece of chalk to mark the barrels. I see a faint chalk markings on the side with dates. I might as well take the chalk. I don't think anybody else will be using it anytime soon. That way, if I ever need to mark the date on barrels, I'll have just the thing. Knock on the barrels. All empty. Oop, there's another drat here. What do you know? The other drat. Knock, knock. Okay. Oop, I was a little close. A little too close. I should have been cleverer. Hey, Mad Magazine was once the highlight of brilliance and parody. We all read Mad Magazine as kids. It really was very clever. If somewhat.
That was a trick situation because I was typing that all the time.
Yeah. If you look around, there are things here than there. Not a lot of things, perhaps. Sift through the junk. Oh, look at the drat's nest. Looks like another large drat's nest. Sift through the junk. What a waste of my time. I'm not touching that with my bare hands. I'll just kick it around a bit. Ooh, I kicked something hard in there. Hey, there's a nice dagger hidden under all this rubbish. I've acquired a good dagger. Must not have been here very long. It's still in good condition. A drat must have dragged it here from Grayer's store. And it's my dagger now. Okay, that was worth it. All right, we'll come down to here. Was Hero? Well, I'll let Corey answer. Strange question. Was Heroes the first RPG to have real-time combat? I don't know. Examine the gate. This gate is made of rusted wrought iron and looks as heavy and as solid as the other gates in this wine cellar. It's locked. Let us oil the hinges. It's always a good idea to make sure the gate that leads to a dangerous place will open smoothly when you need to run away through it. That's always there. A slick gate is a quiet gate. Important safety tip. Let's listen at the gate. I'm not sure, but I may be hearing loud scritching noises in there. Pick the lock. Pick tool use increased. Yay. Blah. I gotta practice picking locks more before I get this one. Might have just saved your life. All right. Yeah, the camera controls and targeting creatures off-site. It was kind of strange, but we didn't want the real-time combat. We wanted it to be all strategy, and we wanted you to do things that initially, like being able to place the traps around the room and then setting it up for the monsters to come running to it. But you can't always get what you want. And you get what you get, and you just have to be good with it. There's a drat right there, so I better do something about it. I will trap it before it gets me. All right, you are trapped, Mr. Drat, and then I will attack it. And it isn't yet dead. Ah, but the trap got it. Yay, one dead drat. Well, we got a good collection. Dead drat is where it's at. Yeah, I'm pronouncing it Lyra. It's not Lyrae or... yeah. Oop, oh, another drat. Walk away. Oh, come on, there. Yeah, the thing is not to get in combat until you are ready to get into combat, so you can set it all up. So, well, it is Lyra plus Lyra and Lyre, and we wanted to make it. Oh, I missed a drat in a trap. There, not for long. There we go. Many parts are edible, in theory. Yeah. There. Oh, really? I didn't realize that was actually spelled that way. I thought everything was spelled the same. Did I pick it up? Yeah, I did. Nothing but fleas. Pity, pity. That's all the drats. What time is it? Ew, it's late. We better get going back to bed. Sneak upstairs. It'll be nice to get back to the castle. It's depressing down here. And you know it would be. Can you imagine what it smells like down there? Ah, you made it! I hope your hunt was successful. Why, you know something, Gregor? It was. I will sell my loot to you. I found these in the dungeon. Yeah. Very good work, Master Sean. Please come back if you find any more drats or brooches in the dungeon. I'll be happy to buy them from you. And there we go. 12 Lyra or whatever. So we just added to our collection. Lyra. Yeah. Yep. And rotting drats, swine, and some strange dog that might be trapped down there. Yeah, and then, you know, where do they all go? That's what the corners are for. Oh, let's leave this room. No, we haven't seen any strange dogs in there. We haven't seen any other strange things either. There's a lot of things we haven't yet found out. Gotta sneak through here, although we don't need to. It's after midnight and Turk goes to bed. And we can tell because the music's all neat and sweet. And it isn't that sneaky Mr. Turk song. Huh. The tapestries smell bad. I imagine, you know, this place smells too. Everything. I mean, and poor Sean, you know, there are only 2 outdoor places he can go to here. It's a good thing they're bathrooms, you know, with nice, you know, soapy tubs to relax in. Ah. Oh, really? I didn't know there was a plural. Yeah. I think, personally, the Texans invented the word nuclear, because that's the way it's spelled. Open the door. I don't know if we went... I can hear. Everybody's asleep. It's past midnight. It's almost 1. It's time for good little Sean's to go to sleep. And no, they'll not get enough sleep. Huh? Okay. What? Huh? Awake! Awake! I don't know if you've ever played World of Warcraft, but those stupid druids, if you ever talk to them, will say that. If Herr O'Connor will kindly refrain from snoring in my classroom, I shall continue this lecture. As I was saying, we have spent the past couple of weeks discussing the skills, tools, and techniques of being a rogue. You might be wondering why we are going to discuss the role of a rogue in society. Why be a rogue? What's in it for me? Excellent questions. However, rather than philosophy, we are here to discuss the practical. Today you will learn the way of Godot. Does anyone know the fable of the little man on the stairs? No one. Not even you, Thomas. I know a nursery rhyme about the man on the stairs, but I never heard of a fable by that name. Then recite the nursery rhyme, please. Yesterday upon the stair I met a man who wasn't there. He wasn't there again today. Oh, how I wish he'd go away. And what is the lesson of the man on the stairs, Fräulein McMichael? It sounds like nonsense to me. How can one meet a man who isn't there? Precisely. The way of Godot is the art of not being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Being a rogue isn't about being in the middle of a battle or exhorting a crowd to glory. A rogue watches the battle from the safe overview and sends messages to the commanders about the enemy's positions. A rogue stands on the edge of a crowd and whispers to others to shout words of encouragement. When there is trouble, a rogue slips into the shadows away from danger. Our job is not to be obvious heroes. Obvious heroes get killed. Our job is to slip away and fight another day. If there is danger, then don't stand around waiting for trouble to find you. Avoid conflict by sticking to the shadows, listening carefully, sneaking to another hiding place. The rule is, don't get caught. What has this got to do with Godot? No matter how long you wait for Godot, you will never see him because he is not there. He is always someplace else. So what is the way of Godot, Herr O'Connor? Okay, shall we answer cautiously to try to please the master, or answer cleverly to try to impress him, or answer snarkily just to amuse yourself? Anybody have an opinion on this? Snarky, cleverly, or cautiously? Cleverly was the first answer, so we will go cleverly. The way of Godot puts the lessons from Way of the Bat and the Way of the Cockroach together. It's using those skills to avoid conflict, even when in the midst of danger. Exactly. All right, Master liked that. Sophia did not like that. I don't know who else. Yep. Smarts increased. Consider the ramifications of the Way of Godot and put them into practice. However, this does not extend to the cutting of class. I expect you to be here every day. Tomorrow we will be having a test on the lessons you have learned. Prepare yourselves. I expect all of you to do well. I will not disappoint you, Master. I will do very well on the test. Very good, Herr Sophia. I expect all of you to do well. Klasse and Lassen. Sophia is a mixture of, let's go back to the way old days. There was a character on a show that I saw when I was way little. What was the name of the show? Father Knows Best. It was even predating that one. It had this kid who was always sickly sweet to all the grown-ups in that, and the minute the grown-ups were out of the room, he was a terror and nasty as could be. And so I wanted to get Sophia a lot like that. He is such a suck-up to any authority figure, but boy, no, it's make way for, oh God, it's terrible. Famous father, Nelson. Do you remember the show, Corey? Harriet Nelson. No, that was predating that one too. Oh well, we can't remember. It's old, it's ancient, and you never got to see it because even by our standards, it's ancient. Yeah. Pass the rogue test. That's our thing. Ozzie and Harriet? Was that the name of the show? Maybe something like that. Yeah, I think it might have been. Yeah, I think so. At any rate, alas, poor Cesare has been rather testy since his little tete-a-tete with Resme the other night. It clearly did not go well with him. I was wondering if you perhaps knew what it was that displeased him so. Talk with Joe. Ask about Sosie's mood. Yeah, I think it was the adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, actually. The perfect father, the perfect mother, the perfect 2 kids, and... Alright, you're going to play some video games. What do you think we're doing here? Yes, thank you very much for joining us, Britt. Yep, have fun. And happy Halloween. Alright, let's ask about Sosie's mood. Sosie's in a bad mood? How can you tell? He's always in a bad mood around me. It must be my winning personality. Well, Joe liked that. He thought that was kind of clever. Cesare and I are dorm mates. He can be most unpleasant when he is displeased. Sosie can be most unpleasant when he's pleased, too. That's part of his charm. Strange noises. Ask about the Sosie's meeting. What did Sosie have to say about his meeting with Esme? Cesare will not speak of the matter, but he is very angry. And perhaps a little bit afraid. Afraid? What would Sosie be afraid of? Of that, I do not know. I had hoped you would have more information on that matter than I have. Perhaps, if you speak with Esme, she will reveal what happened at the meeting. Ask about the shop. So what's new in your store today? I have a very fine throwing dagger that I'll be willing to sell to you. It is perfectly balanced and sharpened to a razor's edge. It would be most useful for you, don't you think? Say goodbye. Yeah, see you around. Have a pleasant afternoon. And let us... Done. Ancient means we could just see it on YouTube because nobody cares about the copyright. Yeah, well, that and the fact they can't figure out a way to make money off of it. Listen at the door. I'm not hearing anyone in the room right now. Let us open the door. Nothing going on here. What time is it? Nothing today? I guess not. Nobody cares. Nobody's here. All right, let's see. Well, we could be working. We have a test tomorrow. Let us look at our skills. We've gotten our charm up. We've gotten our luck up. Huh? My dagger throwing. Well, we've done. Lock picking is the one I really need to work on. It's the most useful. We're getting along. Our throwing skill's actually pretty good right now. Our climbing skill is considerably good, you know, considering how hard that is to do. We will head over to the lockpicking room since there's nobody here to chat with. I'm surprised. I thought there would be somebody there. Let us listen at the door. I don't hear anything. Funny like that. Let us pick the lock. We really do live in an amazing time, which is, you know, compressing all the different times of all the world. Bonanza? Actually, I remember that show. I just didn't watch it. Oh, I think my grandmother watched it. So I probably watched it, you know, once. Examine the lock on this thing. Looks like a pretty basic lock. Let's practice lock picking for an hour because we really, really sincerely need the skill. Oh, that's right. Yes, climbing you get from stairs, even though that's kind of silly. You certainly get the exercise from climbing. You're climbing all the time. Knees are getting tired. All right. Tool use has increased. It is now 3:43 p.m. So, yeah, well, one of the things we did not want to happen, which is what happened with Quest for Glory, is people did spend hours playing the game of just typing in throw the rock. Didn't actually think, you know, to me that isn't good gameplay. So we streamlined it for this. Hey, this lock is no match for me. There, it's unlocked. I don't know if we got anything to that, but yeah, I can remember the Bonanza's theme. I can remember the Bonanza characters, but it wasn't high on the list of things that I actually watched as a kid voluntarily. I was more a Star Trek person. And a matter of fact, I didn't actually watch a lot of television. Even though the television was ubiquitous in our house and everybody watched television, I mostly read books. Yeah, how many rocks can you throw? We threw more rocks trying to get that stupid spore-spitting spirea. Yeah, okay, as Corey said, Get Smart, yep. Man from U.N.C.L.E., yep. Mission Impossible, he didn't put that one up there. Star Trek, yep. F-Troop, yep. I didn't like Gilligan's Island, but I watched it a lot after school because it was on after school. And Lost in Space. 28, 29, 30. How many stairs are there? Too many. Yeah, well, yeah, you know, it's reruns of, we all watched reruns of I Love Lucy because, you know, they were always the reruns for us. Now, Lost in Space was a stupid movie, stupid television show, but I watched it because it was right on after school. Bewitched. Yeah. Well, Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie. Uh-oh. I hear that music. You know what this is. It's time to avoid Mr. Turk. Car 54, where are you? Yes. Oh my gosh. I mean, that also predates most of my television watching. Oh, can we avoid him? Maybe. Not that we're in trouble, because this is the middle of the day. You shouldn't give us demerits. Oh, where are you, you stinker? Green Acres is the place to be. Yeah, we watched that stupid show too. It was so sexist. Oh my God, is it sexist in retrospect? Oh, Petticoat Junction probably was too, but I didn't watch that show. At Space 1999, I remember the first time it came on, we were so thrilled. Oh, Green Acres was better. It had Petticoat Junction had an interesting looking thing. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm wandering around aimlessly. I think I'm getting, yeah, I know. So I didn't need to actually avoid him, but you know, it's always good to avoid Turk. Let's go over here and say hello to Sophia. Listen at the door. What do I hear? I hear somebody buffing her nails. Why, there she is. That sexist thing. There was an episode of the original Star Trek when I was a kid in which Captain Kirk swaps mind with a woman. And it was amazing how great an actor William Shatner was when we were that age, when we were that kids, because he was such a great actor. He could really look like a woman, you know, playing the part of a man, and he was buffing his nails. And that was how we knew that that was actually a woman in a man's body. You know, oh well. So what's new with you, Ginger Snap? Okay, let's go over and chat. I know, we were so impressed with Shatner being able to act at that time. We didn't know better. We were innocent children at that time. Leonard Nimoy was great. Shatner, maybe not. Talk to Sophia. Ask about Sophia. So what brought you to work at the school? Something I do in my spare time. So what do you do with the rest of your time? I get to meet interesting people like you, Coppertop, and I get to learn all sorts of interesting things. Keep your eyes open around here. You never know what you'll see. Ask about the school. What do you think of the Hero University? Is it for real? Who goes to school to be a hero, sweetie? It's just another get-rich scheme from the headmaster. He's the only one crazy enough to think that you can get rich running a school. Ask about rumors. Heard anything interesting lately? You know, honey, I don't hear nearly enough about what's going on around here. I wonder if you could help me. What would you like me to do? I don't tend to hang around the castle after work hours, so I don't get to talk often with the other faculty members to find out what's going on with them. I was wondering if you could do a little surreptitious listening to the faculty lounge occasionally for me. The teachers tend to get together after supper for a few hours to talk things over. Would you please be a dear and let me know what they're talking about on a regular basis? I think he will agree to eavesdrop on the faculty lounge since she's going to do that anyway. I would be happy to keep you informed about what goes on at the faculty lounge. You're such a cutie and so clever. I know you wouldn't let me down with this little task. She liked that. Say goodbye. See you later. Come back anytime, sweetheart. Yeah, you get to be a gossip. It's all about the gossip. Enter the courtyard. Oh, well, when I was a kid, of course, who did I have a crush on but Leonard Nimoy, Mr. Spock. Mr. Spock. We don't need to look at this thing. Alright, let's, what time is it? It is now 4:24. We got time to do something before it's too late. So let's improve our luck. Open the door. Dropped frames detected. Oh no, we're dropping our frames. Sort of like dropping the eaves. Alright, let's practice card theory for half an hour. If I play my cards right, I bet I can raise my game. There we have him, play cards. So it seems that a good fold is as important as a win. Sometimes more important. Again, important safety tip there. I gotta split and watch a Halloween movie. Well, happy Halloween and have a fun time. Yay. Ah, yes, well, yes, part of the reason we have this game here, the Pooh-bah game, is because Corey spent a couple of years developing a poker game on a poker site for real money, poker. Alright, what time is it now? It's only, well, we didn't take any time there at all. Well, I guess we have time to do more stuff. Okay, open the door. Let us do something that's actually useful. Besides, it's almost time for supper. I'd better get there before the food's all gone. But fortunately, that was just a warning. We could still screw around. Okay, let us practice playing pool. This is my cue to rack up a little practice time. So I do like the fact you can practice on anything. I mean, you can just go to the game room, do this for a bit. It just takes up a little time. We try to have real poker tips. I mean, because while Pooh-bah isn't really poker, it incorporates a lot of the strategies that we have for a good poker game. It fixes in, yeah. It's easier, as Corey says. It's just easier to play the game. Let's see if we can do a little of this before we get running out of time. Yeah, we're running out of time here, but we have a little time to screw around. You know, this is how you fill up your day, is you go from place to place and let's practice darts. I'm never so busy that I can't take a few moments for a little practice of practical things like dart throwing. Bah, missed it. Throwing's increased, gaming's increased, so it was all good. I think I'm getting a little better. Uh-oh, late for dinner, gotta rush. So that's how you push that clock to the max. You may be late for class every morning, and you may be, getting in trouble with Gerhard, but... So clearly, that means Gregor is a chatty, natty ratty who eats fatty, dratty patties. Ugh. The very idea of eating drats is revolting. I see Katie sometimes as Lucy from, Charlie Brown. Speaking of which, Esme, are you still hunting drats for Gregor? It's good, easy money. Just sounds too dirty and nasty to me. And fighting gogs and sea drats in the sea caves is better? So there we get a little piece of these two personalities. Hey, at least I can walk Vosh off after every fight. Everyone clean your place and leave. Dinner time is over. No, I don't think we have a way of slowing down the clock. We've always... Okay, what time is it? It is now 7 o'clock. We're good for a bit. There will be a game for wizards. There will be practice games for warriors. I don't know yet about the paladins. There's some... Paladins will have their own class, and I know what the story is for the paladin class. I just don't know the details of the day-to-day. I know who the paladin is. That's how I do things, is I've mapped out what's going to happen in the whole overarching plot line and who it's going to take. But we won't do Quidditch. Quidditch was a stupid game. Kill those kids. I hear several people speaking something about games. Hey, we're good. Yeah, paladins tend to take this life very seriously. They're so earnest and so much really, really conscious about life and what they have to do. You are very good at darts. Yeah, well, we had a dartboard at our inn. I used to play darts with my father's soldiers when I was father's sailors when I was younger. I practiced a lot to get as good as they were. You can just see, I can see her practicing all the time she could when the sailors were away, so she could impress them, when she was little. It was important to be, accepted by the sailors because they were her family in a way. Some paladins play games. Yes, so saith the ultimate paladin, yeah. The bluffing part, yeah, you don't generally play with the buffing part. But there are games that don't require, buffing. I mean, games of skill like darts and that are all based on your own personal skill, and that is, something you actually work on, you really care about. Tyrion Fordring, yeah, okay. Alright, let's talk to Katie. How is your dart game, Sean? You have to know Katie. So you're an innkeeper's daughter. I'm more of a sea captain's daughter now. My mother ran the inn, but she passed away last year. I'm sorry for your loss. Sean can actually appreciate that. Shrug. Mom had been sick for a long time. It's better for her this way. That's, really rough. Talk about darts. Yeah, so I hear you play a mean game of darts. There's only one way for you to find out how good I am. I'd love to find out how good you are. Oh, you mean at darts. Flirt with Katie as if that wasn't flirting. I'd be happy to play with you any day. As long as you're talking about darts or cards, then maybe we will. Say goodnight. Good night and sweet dreams. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Alright, let's challenge her to a game. I mean, we practiced this. How good can she be? Would you like to play a game of darts with me? Okay, but I warn you, I'm the best dart player around. Yeah, she won you. I win. Told you I was good at this game. Okay, you win. I admit it. You really are very good at this game. Alright, we have talked to her. And now we'll go over and talk to Esme. Talk to Esme. Yeah. If to be a paladin, you try not to lie. You don't always tell the truth. Because you just don't tell a lie. You just don't mention it. You know somebody's going to mistake something. You just don't call it to their attention. But you feel guilty about it. Being a paladin is a lot about being guilty. Even if it isn't, something to be guilty about. Would you like to play with me? Would I ever? What game do you like? I am very good at cards. Ask what Esme wants to play. What would you like to play? I do not care as long as game is more for playing than winning. People who play to win are not fun. Susie always plays to win. Yep, I see a W there that didn't get changed. Just ask about cards. Like being a Catholic, really, yeah. Yeah, it's all about the guilt. What card games do you play? We mostly play cribbage here. I know many others, but cribbage is easy to teach and learn. Actually, I don't know how to play cribbage. I think I've played cribbage once in my life, so I don't know how to play, but I do know it's easy to play. Flirt with Esme. Yes, being a blunt paladin, yes, there are blunt paladins, and in fact in D&D I have the full gamut of paladins. I have the arrogant, self-righteous, always knows that what he is doing is for the will of God, obnoxious paladin that nobody in their life likes. So, and then I have very, very sweet, save you paladins, and then I have the ones that are living with angst so deep that they wade in it every day. So yeah, well, that the Death Knights are an interesting thing. They're not quite paladins anymore. Okay, flirt with Esme. I'd like to play with you anytime. I will be here most evenings, so I will see you here then. Alright, so let's challenge her to a game. Let's challenge her to the game of cards, because she said she was good at it. We've been studying at it. I mean, clearly we're going to be good. I am very good with cards. You will have to be very good to win this game. I win! I am very good at this now! I've warned you I was very good at this game. Okay, she won. It is now 8:24. I'm so glad that you can mouse over the clock to see what time it is in digital language. Because, I mean, God, I lived with an analog clock all my life, and it's easier to think about it from a digital world. Let's go over them. We'll talk to Joel. Good night, Irby. Have fun. Alright, let's talk to Joel. Say sorry is rather disappointed in you, Mr. O'Connor. Okay. What are you, Susie's personal servant or something? Cesare is my roommate and my friend. I would like to be your friend as well, Mr. O'Connor. That is why I thought to give you a little suggestion that you might wish to make friends with Cesare also. He is a most important person. Ask about Sophie. What makes Sophie so special? The Sophie family is one of great power and influence in the land of Sicilia. It is always wise to have friends in high places. Polite, clever, or snarky. I'm going snarky here, sorry. There's a lot that can be said for Sophie. Unfortunately, much of it involves profanity. Joel did not actually like that, sorry. Ask about the games. What games do you like best here? I have little interest in playing darts. Billiards is an interesting game, one I have yet to master. Gambling is unfortunately discouraged at the school, and card games are rather boring without it. Fortunately, we do play Pooh-bah almost weekly here. That game of chance and intrigue is definitely my favorite. Say goodnight. I'll see you later. Indeed you shall, Mr. O'Connor. Well, since he doesn't really like games, I'm gonna go over and suck up to Sophie. Or not. Talk to Sophie, Cesare. Care to test your meager gaming skills against mine? Ask about Sophie. How is it that a man of your rank and stature gets stuck here at a school with the likes of me? Isn't that a bit below you? Yes, being stuck here at the school is an insult to me as a person of nobility, but we endure what we must. You never know what the machinations behind why I'm here, so do not ask. Important words to keep in mind. Ask about games. What games do you like to play in the rec room? I am very good at everything I play. Would you like to see how a master at billiards plays? Try challenging me to this sport. Say goodnight. Yeah, I'll catch you tomorrow. Perhaps so, but I can always hope for the best. Alright, it's only 9. We still have time. I guess we'll challenge him. Challenge Cesare to a game. Alright. Let's try darts. Since that isn't his game, I challenge you to a round of darts. You think you can beat me at darts? We will see about that. Alright. I win! Ha! See, all that practicing throwing paid off. These darts are clearly inferior. They don't throw properly. I'm sitting here reading things about the Lich King. Oh, read Terry Pratchett. We cannot recommend him enough. If the list of things that we consider must-reads, Terry is one of them. Now, I mean, there are so many of them. So many different worlds, so many different things, but, the veterinary is just the most awesome person in a book next to Granny Witherwatch is definitely on that, but oh, I don't want to drink from the pool. What time is it? It's 9 o'clock. I can't do much now. I guess I could go to the practice room. All right. Which one would you read? If you had only one to read, it all depends upon your own personal taste, honestly. Weird Sisters is my favorite if you like anything to do with, Shakespeare. If you like witches. Men-at-Arms, the whole Vimes series where you get to see this character that's really a comedic character when they start out the game. The books become very serious. You could do your... Oh, it's so late! I should have done that first thing. I wish you'd reminded me. Eavesdropping. It's too late. They go to bed, I think. Well, we could try it. Dang. Well, we have to avoid Turk, because... Ooh. Turk isn't out yet. Oh, because it isn't time. Yeah, maybe it is time. We haven't hit curfew yet. Alright, let's see. I don't know yet. I hear people talking behind the door. We're not too late. Yes. Let us listen in. Listen at the door. I hear people talking. Aye, that's the right of it, Sylvia. For my first aid elective class, sure, and I'll be teaching a mixture of practical skills and medical theory. I'm going to show them how medicinal plants and remedies in the garden. We'll be making healing bandages and potions down in the infirmary. It's all very practical. It's sad that there are people here with too little magical ability to be wizards. That's why I'm starting the Magic for Mundanes class. I want to teach those poor, unfortunate individuals a few minor spells so they can have the thrill of working with magic. Then we can work rituals together to make some runes so they can have a few powerful spells at their side. I'm sure they will like that. Dr. Von Braun, what are you planning to teach for your electrics class? Why, science, of course! It will be a series of lectures on chemistry and alchemical theory and practical application. Oh boy, lectures. I get enough of that from the master. Culminating with the creation of bombs, explosions, and incendiary material for the students to experiment with on their own time. They will enjoy the true joy of science. Fires and explosives and bombs? Oh my. Maybe I can learn the joy of science after all. Welcome back, Al. Hope you had a good trick or treat. Okay, we have accomplished our mission. I don't want to alert the teachers because I'll just get in trouble, but we can go to our accomplishments. Okay. Learn to pick locks. Well, we've got that to do. Done. Find the lucky key. Find the rec room. We've done those things. Done. Find my room. Interrupt Soci's date. Eavesdrop on the faculty lounge. Yes. So one of our to-dos, tasks for... Yeah. Go back to do. We need to report to Sophia about what we did. Okay. Good for us. Yeah, we had a pretty good chemistry class. Mostly because our teacher was a dork and really dumb. And so it was the only class in high school that I shared with my brother. It was advanced placement chemistry or something like that. And even though he was a year younger than I was. Yeah, we can still go down here without having to run away. We actually, you know, could do cool things like make soap and play around and screw around with experiments. So we felt like real scientists in that class. No, I don't think Pholus is in here. There are other centaurs, but not a painting of Pholus. We see other people. You missed probably some. Listen to Darla's room. I could have done that. Gee, I'm not thinking. Well, mostly I'm not thinking because I'm more busy reading with what you guys are doing and commenting on that. Maybe we should run personally because we're running out of time. Yes, let's see what's going on. There are centaurs. There are a few centaurs around here. They're just not all Pholus. Pholus wasn't that memorable a character, sadly to say. All right, we got a door. Let us listen. Listen at the door. I don't hear anything. Well, too bad. Let us open the door. Yes. Guess this isn't that night. Nope, nobody here. However, we will go look at this beautiful painting once again, because it is a really, really pretty big painting. I think it's one of JP's best. I mean, it's just so cool. I mean, isn't that beautiful? It's magical. Oh yeah, and we looked over this room. We've already experimented. We already showed off this room and said what a wonderful, amazing person Darla is. And did we ever get the name of this? I don't think we actually got a name. Yeah. I never got the name of this dog. I was so sad because we really would have put the name of the dog there too. Oh, Bronx. Okay, we need to put down Bronx somewhere because Bronx. Yes, Guardian of the Pack. Oh, we'll put that in some update. Yeah, I think in the next patch or so if we can. Yes. Oh, what time is it? Okay, we're still good. Well, in a sense, the backers made out like bandits in this game. And another point, we wouldn't have this game. This game could never have been done without those backers. I mean, honestly, we couldn't have had the energy or the money to do this without people like Darla and Mortuai and the people that backed the Sea Caves, the Sea Serpent Lair, and all these people made our games, really. And they encouraged us and kept us going when, you know, it was hard to keep going. I guess we should practice our daggers since we were so good at it earlier. Practice with daggers. Oh, we're making progress. It's now past 10. It's walk the tightrope. Yes, actually, yes, Catherine, you did write for, you wrote that very, very beautiful essay for us. Right at the end of the first campaign, your essay was so inspiring. Yes, we really think that your essay and stuff helped to push it over the edge because it wouldn't have made it. You really were critically important to this game. All right, well, we just fell on our buns there, and it is almost midnight. We could go to bed early, or we could practice. Let's see, are we on kettlebells yet? Practice with the kettlebell. Yeah, I guess we are. Are people supposed to sweat this much? I don't think we left in time to go to the bathroom. Okay, now it is way past time to do any more practicing. We're out of luck. We'll have to run back home. Run back to bed. We also missed Aeolus, so we never talked to Aeolus. Let's go out of here. Oh, well, that's all right. He's probably just depressed anyway. There's only so much you can do. Up and away! Which could be a Superman reference or a stupid song reference. We will go to bed. And we're still late, so. It is now time for your first exam. I trust you all studied your lessons carefully. Maybe I should have studied. Okay. This means, of course, that you should have been practicing your stealth and perception skills in addition to your books and notes. One learns by doing. Well, at least we did that part. You will have 3 hours to complete the test. You will spend the remaining class time in the practice room polishing your skills. You will then have no class on the following day in order to recover from your ordeal. All right. Which statement is false about the way of the Kuchenschaba? Catherine is the Darla. She's also the evil Meep, which was very important too. All right, question number 1. Which statement is false about the way of the Kuchenschaba? All right, I'm going to leave that to you, because I may or may not know the answer. And it's much better to let one of you actually answer it, so I don't have to look like, well, I guess I should have written that better. All right, 1. One should assess the situation before taking action. 2. One should go out of their way to avoid dangerous situations. 3. One should look around for useful places to hide. And 4. Always listen carefully for the sound of movements or other cues that foes might be present. Or 5. All of the above. Which statement is false about the way of the Kuchenschaba? Corey's trying to guess it. Poet didn't know it says 2. And Dean says it's 1. One should assess the situation before taking action. Well, okay. And Bashir said 1. And Chapman says 4. Always listen carefully for the sound of movements. Well, all right. I think, yeah. Think about a cockroach. Okay, here's our thing. You said that there were no cockroaches in this game. Well, not per se, but this is the cockroach. What does a cockroach do? It sits there, and it has to think. Yeah, none of the above wasn't there. Yes, which would always be correct, in this case, because one of them's mine. There's one there that really isn't there. Choice 6, yes. Always go for whatever choice that isn't there. They're all false. Okay, fine. Godot.
Not the way of Godot.
Yeah, the way of Godot we went for instead of Yehudi. Okay. I don't. I think 4 was the one the most people went for. And the answer is, because we'll take several days, we may never get to the answer. The answer is 2. One should go out of their way to avoid dangerous situations, because cockroaches that's definitely the way of Godot. And it's also that cockroaches are about assessing the situation and finding ways to avoid the danger, but you shouldn't necessarily go out of your way to avoid them. Yeah, I know. I tried to repeat some of them as best I could, but yeah, so. All right. When trouble approaches, what should be your first action? 1. Draw my weapon and prepare for action. 2. Look around for someone else to blame for my actions. 3. Watch from a concealed place to absorb the trouble. Or 4. Go up and properly introduce myself to the trouble. Okay, or all of the above. Okay. A pergola and drugs. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think, yes. What is the best way? Well, you can say which one wasn't the right way. Play dead. Play dead is also good. Yeah. Your first action should be... Yeah, okay, that's just, in politics, Bashar. That's just in politics. And it gets you to very high offices, yes. Okay, I am going to watch from a concealed place. Which of the following is a rogue's tool? Chalk, a lockpick, a flask of oil, a rope, or all of the above? I used to have something else on this list, but they decided that that was going to be the one they chose because they can't figure it out. Yeah. All right. Yeah, this is tough. It makes you think. That was the whole point of these tests, is to treat them as a real puzzle-solving problem, and they're really thinking problems. Yeah, okay. In this case, all of the above. What is the best way to use a throwing knife? Here's that thing we talked about earlier. 1, stab your enemy with it. Well, that's probably not the best way because, you know, stabbing isn't really what you do with a throwing knife. Hold it by the blade. Hold it by the knife by the heaviest part. Aim carefully and throw the knife slowly, or all of the above. All right, I think we covered that earlier if you were here. 3 was the answer. Yes, it is the correct answer, at least for this test. What is the best way to get out of trouble? 1, charm your way out with a mixture of fast talk and flattery. 2, use a rope and grapnel to climb up to the top of the building and run along the rooftops. 3, figure out the cause of the conflict and try to find a solution to the problem. 4, avoid getting into trouble in the first place, or all of the above. Yep, that's the master's. I mean, the master made this test. Ideally, we should have used a font that looked like black. What is it? Black letter text, which was very, very. In fact, we had one that looked like black letter, and it was. You couldn't read it. You just couldn't read it. But this is supposed to be in his handwriting, just so you know. Oh, okay. Avoid getting in trouble in the first place. Yes. 3 is a paladin. 1 is a bard. 2 is a rogue, or a thief. And there's none of them that says get your weapon out and get into it. Yes, that would have been the warrior way. Let's see. Avoid getting into trouble in the first place. Let's go with that one. What is the one tool that all rogues must put to good use? Their lockpicks, their brain, their rope and grapnel, their good looks, or their diploma from Hero U? 2 is the Batman. Okay, fine. We should know that from now on. And I mean, and this is again, this is what it comes down to, is what is the way of the rogue? What is a rogue here in the school? And it's not about what you do, it's about how you think about things and how you do them. So it's all about using your smarts. That's why smarts is more important for a rogue than agility, agility was the prime aspect for a thief. Okay. Why is this class called the Disbarred Bards? 1, if we call ourselves rogues, everyone would call us rouges. That's a joke. If you've ever played World of Warcraft or anything else, and anybody types the word rogue, it looks like rouge. Even when we type it, it comes out rouge at the time. So, 2, if we called ourselves rogues, everyone else would be jealous. 3, so the modern media doesn't do an expose on the rogues of Hero U. 4. It's hard.
The answer is they needed a sufficiently unique title to get the trademark.
Corey says it's because they needed a title to get the trademark. And 4. It's hard to be subtle when you are waving a red flag. So, oh, Julie, cool. Cool. It's great to have good artists. Even if they're just your brother. Okay. Okay, now I'll catch up. Alright. John didn't need a lockpick to steal that coin. No, but he did have to steal something for it. That is the hidden career path to supermodel. I don't have too much of that there. Yeah. Star Wars Rouge 1. Yep. Rouges are overpowered. Yep. Okay. The Rouge Rogue will be your third game. That'll be a character in the third game, yes. Actually, okay, fine. Brains. That's the zombie song. Yes. Oh, good. Oh, cool. Art. Art's great. We love artists. I love being an artist. Moulin Rogue. Probably pronounced Moulin Rouge, actually. Yeah. Okay. Actually, the answer is it's hard to be subtle when you wave a red flag. If you were the rogue school student, nobody in school is going to trust you. Okay. What is the best reason to show respect to Master von Ervold? 1. The Master is an authority figure and we should always show respect towards authority. 2. It's in the rules. 3. One does not go out of his or her way to provoke a wolf. 4. If I do not show proper respect for the Master, I'll be kicked out of Hero U. 5. If one wishes to suck up properly, all of the above is the correct answer. Oh, okay.
I really like that last one.
Well, yes, but you got to remember who's writing this. And the answer is 3. One does not go out of his or her way to provoke a wolf. Because this is Gerhardt writing him. Gerhardt doesn't care much about respect towards authority, as you can tell how he respects Turk. And in the rules, they're more like guidelines, really. I think Sean actually goes out of his way at times to not show proper respect for the Master, and he doesn't get kicked out from that, yeah. And yes, this one. This is Gerhardt all over. You're seeing the personality of the Master. All right, that was number 8. Number 9. In the way of the fledermaus, what is the primary skill utilized? One's agility, one's moxie, one's perception, one's charm, or all of the above? And the fledermaus, as in mouse merry jest. And the answer is yes. The bat uses his perception or her perception to find his way around, and therefore, fledermaus perception's important. Guess I have to answer it. All right. Number 10. How does one become Rogue of the Year? 1. One goes out of his or her way to make friends and influence people. 2. You do what you can to suck up to the master. 3. You practice your skill and learn all the lessons. 4. You pay more than just lip service to the notion of being a hero. Or 5. All of the above. Drop frames detected. We're dropping them rapidly. And the answer is indeed 5. All of the above. Those are the things that you have to do to become Rogue of the Year if you so choose, which is, of course, part of the real thing in the game. Yep. All right. We have successfully finished that. Yeah, Ervold doesn't care about 2, but he is pointing out that if you want to be Rogue of the Year, you have to do everything to get there. No, the answers aren't a dig at a specific student. It's all coming from Gerhard's point of view, you have to remember. And he is more making you really have to think. Yeah, it was. It's rough as any stats because it is about... First of all, it is trying to get your mind into the mind of the master, and that isn't easy. And because your life may not be over if you screw over this test. I hope the quiz today did not greatly disturb you. The master frequently tests our wits and knowledge. This was just the first of the written exams. Will you be joining us tonight in the recreation room after dinner for a few rounds of Pooh-bah? It should be most amusing. Talk with Joel. Ask about Joel's day off. So what are you planning on doing on our day off? I will be spending the day enjoying the sights and sounds of Caligari. I will take the opportunity to restock my supplies. Ask about the test. Well, what's a fledermaus? A fledermaus is a bat. Yep, it's a bat. It is German. Jerikesthi, I recognize the name from the catacombs, yes. Yes, it's going on. It's still going on. It's going to go on for another 3 hours at this rate. How well did you do on the test? It was merely a simple quiz, and not particularly difficult. I find these disbarred bard lessons very I take these disbarred bard lessons very seriously. You never know when they might be useful for one's survival. What of you, Mr. O'Connor? How did you enjoy the quiz? All right. Should we impress Joel, amuse Joel, or mock Sophie? So did you like your painting, Jeriketh? We did our best, you know. Because German, yes, Mary Mouse. Because German, that's an answer for almost everything. All right, I think amuse Joel. Amuse Joel's always good, and that was the first answer we got. Anyway, it was a piece of cake, a fruit cake. It was hard to swallow, nutty, and it left an unpleasant taste in my mouth. Ask about Pooh-bah. Is there a Pooh-bah game tonight? We have a regular Pooh-bah game on the nights of tests to relax and have fun. It would be very good to have you join us for it. Ask about the shop. Got anything new in your store? I am adding a small pouch of sleeping powder. It is the most useful way to avoid confrontation with hostiles. This is an underused item. Sleeping powder. Don't leave home without it. At times, it will save your adventuring career if you have a sleeping powder used at the right place and time. However, it does not work on spooks. And, of course, those are the most dangerous things. Simply throw it at someone who has not yet engaged in combat, and he will fall asleep for a short while. You can safely sneak past him without awakening him. Alas, it is not particularly effective once you have injured your opponent. Ask about rumors. Heard anything interesting lately? I was up late last night exploring some of the most remote sections of the castle when I sensed I was not alone. I went into hiding, and who do you think I saw sneaking around? Miss Sourpuss Miranda. It seems our receptionist has an unusual skill set for a receptionist, one that includes picking locks and stealth. Yeah, like a calm spell. Only they fall asleep. I'll try to make it to the Pooh-bah game tonight. It will be a pleasure to see you there. And, no, we don't have anything to give, so we don't have anything to buy, but we do want to see how much money we have. We have 40 lira. That's a little low. We probably need to make some money before we actually, go to the game. Otherwise, we won't be able to afford it. Okay. Listen at the door. I'm not hearing anyone in the room right now. I guess I didn't go in here. Open the door. Didn't take the advice. They didn't come here to practice afterwards. They all left. I guess they're depressed. I mean, that was a tough quest. Tough setting tests. Time to kill drats and wash dishes. Yeah, that's about it. That's the story of our life, Wash dishes. Alright, I'm going to, since I got time, I'm gonna... Huh? No, it's afternoon. We haven't made evening yet. Ah, there was a loud noise. You'd think that would actually tell us something, but, I don't see what it tells us. Oh! Oh, there it tells us! Oh, thank you! Thank you very much! We will make as many games in this series as we can. TLC, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mouse. Thank you very much. Goilvig? Vig? Goilvig. I don't know how you pronounce that word. I don't know my good pronunciation for German. At any rate, thanks everybody. We are so glad to have you join us. And we're so glad that, that we actually get some money. Because, money is what makes these games come out. Let's see, I'm gonna... Yeah, maybe we need a new computer. Yeah, maybe. Maybe that would help. Maybe let's attack the monster. Because we have nothing better to do than attack monsters. Ooh, defense increased. With my trusty dagger in hand, I deliver a flurry of blows to the wooden monster. Okay, we did well. It's still not time. So let's combat dummy. Let's practice with this dummy. Avant thee! Or thee! Whatever people say when they're attacking stuff. Attack, attack. Yeah, we'll do some lame-looking swings. This skinny blackguard is no match for me today. Alright. Okay, let's get out of here. We have enough time to go run over to tell Sophia that we actually did something she wanted us to do. Amazing, amazing, amazing. We will get... Why couldn't this be more one of those ranch-style castles? Ranch-style castles. A ranch-style home in California means it's one story, sprawling. We really should have had pizza tonight. That would have made sense. It would have been appropriate. Instead, we had, pasta, leftover spaghetti. We had spaghetti for our Halloween party the other day. And it was with all those worms. Blood and worms. That's what spaghetti really is. Connor, oh my god, I didn't avoid him. Do you know what you are? You are a slacker. We don't need slackers around here. Good. Yeah, thanks. I'll remember that. Okay, running this way because it's easier not to click on all the things that are there to click on. Okay, come over here. Open the door. All right, what's new with you, Ginger Snap? Let's see. Oh, no, I don't want to go that way. I'm trying to click on her. Here. Come here. I don't care about that. There. Talk about eavesdropping. Here's what I heard when I happened to walk by the faculty lounge the other evening. Sophia liked that, and your task was completed. That's all they said? Oh well, keep your ears open when you happen by the lounge. They might say something useful sometime. Talk to Sophia. Ah! That was not correct. See you later. I didn't say goodbye. Flirt with Sophia. Let's try flirt. Compliment Sophia. I have a choice of what to compliment. Gee, what should we compliment of Sophia? Because you got a chance to do it. Yes, yeah. She's got that voice that's so distinctive. It should really be Annie Potts doing this. It's how I picture her. I mean, no, I didn't make her look too much like Annie. I didn't want to look like Ghostbusters, but whatever. Okay, so are we going to compliment her hair, her eyes, her lips, her intelligence, her habits, or her appearance? 4. Fine, we got an answer. Her intelligence. Okay. You're really smart for a woman. I think Sean needs to work on his skills here. Her lips are marinara lips, yes. Lips, too late. We didn't... Oh, really? I didn't realize that... Yes, that men and women were on a different scale of measurement. That explains why men say such stupid things, the poor dears. Not the best compliment, no. That did not win friends and influence people there. Can we talk to her? No, we don't have much done. Okay, say goodbye. See you later. Come back anytime, sweetheart. Yes, smooth. Oh no, that's the supper time bell. It's time to go to the dinner, but it isn't quite, because we have an hour to screw around still. Oop, that was a noise. Thank you very much. Oh, that was so sweet. Thank you, both of you, Roberta and Jericast. We needed that money. Yes, it helps. It really does. Honestly, we're not... Oh. Sophia's not amused, no. She is Janine from the Ghostbusters. Yes, she is indeed. All right, let's listen at the door because it's always good to practice that. But nothing's going on, so it wasn't much. And we will open the door. And since we are going to... Ooh, did we learn how to play Pooh-bah? Did you learn how to play Pooh-bah, Corey? Oh, okay, fine. If you read the book, we're good. Oh, we haven't gone to the library to do things either. I mean, we could be learning things and studying things. Ooh, somebody gave me an almond joy. A frozen almond. Happy Halloween. A frozen almond joy. It's going to be like, you know, hard as a rock, which is the right way to eat it. We still get the PayPal donations, yes, from the original link, yes. Of course.
Of course, we don't get it because we're trying to sell our cow.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty clear that in cards, the deadly sin is to mistake bad play for bad luck, or vice versa. Never ascribe to bad luck what you could have outthought of. Alright, we have done our practicing. Frozen almond joys, they're the right way to eat it. It doesn't get on your hands. It just breaks up in tiny pieces, and then you take longer to chew them up. Alright, let us practice playing pool. Besides, this gives me some agility stuff. Oh, homemade brownies from scratch. Oh, with caramel. Oh my gosh. Yes, we want you. You should have come over here for Halloween. We love that. Come on. The pocket is your home. You too good for your home. Billiards is not an easy game to play. Well, every little bit of practice helps, or so they say. That helped our agility, so yeah. Ah, I lost track of time. Don't want to miss a meal here. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much. We're so glad you made it. Night. Yeah, it's 2:14 there. Yeah, it's even later some other places, so thanks so much. All right. Man, that test today was brutal. I really had to think to answer those questions. Yeah, really. Shocking, as Corey said. Oh my gosh. School. Thinking, as opposed to studying for the test beforehand? I did not see you studying, Katie. Of course not. I was giving Sean a hard time. Wouldn't want him to get too cocky around here. Sun is coming up! Ah! Ew. Well, thank you for staying the night away. Yes. Yes, over there in Cyprus. Yes. So, yes. Just think, we were talking to people all around the world, and that was Cyprus. So, the sun is coming up. It's still dark kind of out there too, isn't it? Because it's winter time. Yeah, we would love to visit Cyprus sometime. We really want to. But then we'd love to visit a lot of places, which we never get around to. All right, Thomas Kent. I found the test challenging and interesting. It's not like any test I've ever had. I agree with Sean. The test was not good. Well, cheer up, everyone. We can relax and enjoy ourselves now. After all, it's Pooh-bah tonight. Maybe we can get rich by winning Sosie's money and wiping that smirk off his face. Maybe you will join us in the rec room tonight, Sean. We will be happy to win your money. All right, everyone, time to go. Clean up behind yourselves. 10 demerits for everyone who leaves a mess behind them. Connor, I want to see you in my office immediately.
Uh-oh.
Oh, well, so much are our plans. What's the matter, Connor? Did your demerits catch up with you already? Oh. Well, it's... Yes, this is trick-or-treating for adults, or young at heart, or whatever we are. I'm surprised that you haven't been kicked out of the school by now. You are a troublemaker. I knew that from the moment I saw you. Of course, this character was based off of Back to the Future, if you ever saw that and ever saw the principal, the vice principal of the school. However, it seems that you have attracted the attention of someone who is very interested in you. He's contracted me to ask you a question. Did you get the lucky coin? Ooh, thank you very much, Just James. We're so appreciated. All right. Did you get the lucky coin? You get to handle things like that. How shall we handle Mr. Turk? Shall we be polite? Shall we answer boldly? Shall we be sneaky and deceitful, or shall we be smartass? Yep. All right. Our first answer. Uh-oh, I lost my screen. I can't do that. I clicked on the other screen. All right. We shall answer politely because Julie answered first. Lucky coin, sir? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Don't play the innocent here, Connor. I know you were given the order to find a lucky coin. Now, where is it? A very important patron with a great deal of influence around Sardonia wants to know the answer, Connor. I will be willing to overlook some of your flaws and picadillos from now on, assuming you please this patron. So, where is the lucky coin you were sent to retrieve for the patron? Alright, shall we be invasive, shall we bluff, or be smartass? Good night, people that are leaving. We're so glad you showed up. Oh, 2. Fine. Somebody answered it. Bluff. I'm gonna bluff. Bluff. The man who stole it and everything else. The man who caught me stole it and everything else I had with me before he brought me here. What man are you talking about? Who brought you here? I mean, you don't know him? Tall guy, beard, eye patch over one eye. I thought he worked for the school. He walked right in through the castle gates and spoke directly to the headmaster. Then I was sent to your office. Blast it! Now I need to find your mysterious one-eyed man to see if he has the coin. As for you, I doubt that the patron will have anything to do with you since you botched the job. You get 10 demerits for wasting my time. And don't try to tell anyone else about this meeting of ours. I'll deny everything. And who would take the word of a liar and a thief over my word? Get out! What was that?
About a 1 minute lag now, so responses to your polls are taken up.
Oh. Oh, this thing got up. Okay, sorry, I was reading all that. Well, so much for that. I guess it's better to do some accounting. Corey, do you still ask me? Alright, we'll try this again. Uh-huh. Mic is on now. There it goes. Okay, fine. Okay. Well, I guess this is better than doing accounting. Okay. You did good work, Mr. Shanshan. Good job. Say goodbye. I'll be seeing you later. Marie Lippe, Mr. Shanshan. Bye-bye. Okay. We made it to money. Maybe we can get to the game before it's over. Maybe we can talk to people before they're all gone.
Your voice is breaking up again.
My voice is breaking up. Maybe it's time for Corey to take over. Maybe it means that we have run this too long and we need to restart the game. If it's breaking up, we probably do. We'll need to reboot, so to speak. Listen to the door. Yeah, loud and clear, but am I breaking up to you? Sounding like it. Yeah, well, that's one of the thing of life, making choices. Katie is saying something about Pooh-bah, so we know they're in there. Let us open the door. A little, yes, a little broken up. Okay, then, staticky, yes. Open the door. What I will say is that we will pause the game, reboot one of these things, and start again, except I have to get through here. Pooh-bah is fun and exciting. It's like hunting, only with much less bloodshed.
Don't get to save.
I know, that's what I'm doing. Getting to a save point. Usually less bloodshed. Thomas is not impressed with that. Okay, that took us to a save point. We can now go into our computer, that weird icon at the top that a lot of people can't begin to identify what it's supposed to be anymore because it's too strange. All right, we are going to new save. Day 7, 8:31 at the rec room. That's fine. Let's just save there. Okay. I don't know. I'm going to turn this over to Corey. He will do this, and we will continue chatting on the... I did save the game. We have saved the game. I should quit the game. And then we will pick up... We can still keep going. Yes. Thank you, Bashar, for being here. We were so glad to see you. Quit game. I will start typing. So we will we'll be back in radio silence for a few minutes. I thought you were rebooting the...
No, this one.
You're just rebooting the game.
No, the system.
Oh, okay.
I just trust that more.